Welcome, everyone. This is your friend, the DN What If, here with another exciting fanfiction. Today, we're diving into the story of What If Deku Became the Vigilante Glitch? If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fanfiction content just like this. Now, let's get started with the fanfic. Chapter 1. Izuku's POV. First night as a vigilante, and I've already taken down a few villains and called the police like a good mother FANG child. By the fourth time I called, they asked what I was doing. I said, "What am I doing?" "What are you doing?" "I'm out here going for my nightly jog, and every few blocks I hear a scream. Like, come on. Isn't it your job to stop stuff like that?" "Huh. Well, I ought to call your mother. She would be so disappointed." I went on, lecturing them for a few more minutes. I made sure to have a feminine voice as I spoke. That was, till I heard sirens. "Ma'am, but every time we get to the scene, you're never there. We need your name and for you to come down to the police station." The policeman stated, "Oh, I actually know that answer. I'm Glitch, your new favorite vigilante and information broker if need be. We're going to have so much fun together. Make sure to tell the detective, don't leave a single thing out." I then hung up and went back to my job. Jumping up alleyways, running across roofs, capturing criminals, and saving civilians. I went out for a couple more hours before I decided I deserved some sleep. I am currently leaving the Takoba Municipal Beach before school starts because the day before I started my vigilantism, I finished cleaning this specific beach, so now it's nice and clean with couples coming down here all the time. I like to check on it from time to time to see if there is any more trash that needs to be cleaned. When school got out, I ran from Bakugo. It's not that I'm scared of him, but I kinda have a full schedule and I hate treating burns. So when I see Bakugo and he sees me, well, I just run like hell. I only got about 5 feet away before running into someone. I looked up and saw Eraserhead with Present Mike both in civilian clothes. Well, Eraser almost always wears his hero costume which looks like civilian clothes anyway, so I couldn't really tell with him. Does he ever wash his clothes? Does Mike make him? Or does he just throw the clothes away after a few days? Whatever. "Sorry," I say sheepishly as the hobo-looking man helped me up. I was about to thank him when an angry Pomeranian started yelling at me. "Deku! Where do you think you're going?" The heroes were still watching, but Bakugo didn't seem to care as he continued to scream like a lunatic. Him and his huge ego were the only thing that mattered to him, so obviously he would ignore others he deemed below him. He grabbed me by the collar so I couldn't move. "Let me go, Bakugo, I have to go wash the mud. It's starting to get dirty." I hid my smirk as Bakugo's furious face turned to confusion. "You can't wash mud, idiot." He shoved me away as he let go of my shirt and took a step back. "Oh, did I say wash the mud?" "Mowing the snow." I face-bombed and shook my head as I laughed at myself. "You know what, you look like you have enough brain damage right now, so I'm just gonna go." Bakugo took a few steps back, spun around, and walked away. And that, my friends, is how you deal with an angry porcupine. I laughed before freezing. "Oh wait, I don't have any friends." I bursted out laughing and turned around only to be met with the 2 pro heroes that were, oddly enough, still standing behind me. "Oh shit, I forgot you were here. You scared me." Who just stands behind someone like that? I waved my hands about before letting out a deep sigh. "Sorry for startling you, kid, but are you getting bullied? We can get you some help if need be." Eraser spoke in his usual, giving up on life voice with a small hint of softness. "Yeah, listener. He didn't seem too nice," Mike pointedly stated. "Nah, it's fine, I can deal with this stuff. I have many other ways of getting people away than just confusing them." I cackled a little as the pro heroes looked at me oddly. After a little more talking and telling them I didn't need help, we said our goodbyes and parted ways. Chapter 2. Izuku's POV. Sitting on a random roof, I hacked into the police station to mess with them. I may be a vigilante, but what vigilante doesn't fool around and prank the heroes and police? It's also been a slow night, so don't judge me. I managed to hack into their speakers and smirked. I grabbed my headphones with a speaker attached to it and placed it on my head. I adjusted the speaker toward my mouth and turned it on. Hell soon broke loose. Hey people! The name is Glitch. I'm here to tell you that I am your new friendly vigilante. Of course, I didn't hack into your speakers just to tell you all that. I also came here to tell you all, I am here. I cackle a bit before continuing my speech. Just a heads up, I am and will prank you. Say hi to Eraserhead and Detective Tsukachi for me and good luck on catching me. As I finished my speech, I just narrowly avoided Eraserhead's scarf as I started to run away. Oh, I'm sorry, did I wake you from your little cat nap? I yell back as I speed across rooftops. I couldn't really tell if he was glaring back at me, but it sure feels like it. I lost him a few minutes later before going on my usual route. Everywhere. Why, you may ask? Because crime is everywhere, so why shouldn't I be? A few hours passed and I was going to head home for the night, but at that moment, I had a bad feeling something was going to happen. I decided to stay out a little bit longer. I'm glad I listened to my gut because a few minutes later, I arrived at a fight between a few villains and Eraser. Eraser seemed to have gotten jumped as there were other guys groaning in pain around him. He also seemed to be bleeding out badly, his red eyes glowing in the dark. Just sit down, Eraser, you'll die if you don't get treated soon. I state as I jump down from a roof and begin fighting a tall, lanky man in black. No, get out of here, kid, it's dangerous. Eraser grunted as he blinked and a random guy shot strings out his eyes to bind Eraser. Eraser activated his quirk and erased the guy's quirk before going to attack another guy. I'm not a kid, I've had worse. Also, I always have a plan, so just sit your butt down so I can finish this. I punch a guy in the nuts, hearing a satisfying crack as I yell back at Eraser. He was still trying to fight, but the blood loss made him dizzy and he started to sway. Eraser backed out the fight and landed on the ground by the alleyway wall, trying to control his breathing. I threw a sleeping bomb down and it exploded upon contact. I covered mouth and held my breath as everyone started to sway and fall down from inhaling the sleeping gas. Soon, everyone was out like a light, including Eraser. He probably needed it anyway. Oh yeah, he's still bleeding. A few of the smart villains that held their breath soon got knocked out via me as I quickly finished the fight and ran back to Eraserhead. I can't have my favorite hero dying now, can I? That was a serious question. Can someone answer me because I don't know? Seriously, please. I tie up all the villains, called the cops, grabbed Eraser, and ran to my hideout where I patched him up and waited for him to wake up. I ended up having to put a few stitches on the side of his forehead and tied gauze around it tightly. The rest of his injuries just needed bandages and ointment. It's been a few minutes now and I started to hear ringing coming from Eraser's pocket, so I went to see what it was. It was his phone. Present Mike was calling and it turns out, he's also Eraser's husband. Don't ask me how I know because you probably already know how I know. Sure, are you? Okay, eh? Jesus, I don't think anyone would be okay after hearing that. Who are you? Hello, I'm Glitch, pleasure to meet you. I silently gee at my politeness. What have you done with Shoyuta? Okay, 1, don't try to track his phone, it won't work. 2, your husband was ambushed by a group of villains and had a few injuries from it. Why didn't you just take him to the hospital? His voice sounded concerned but also wary. It made me wonder, what would it be like to have someone care for me like that? Heroes are 30% likely to die on their way to the hospital because of how severe their injuries were. Your husband could have become that 30% had I not brought him to my base. There was a long pause on the other end before Mike spoke again. Not that I want Shoyuta to die, but why didn't you just let him die like the others probably would? Well, he's my favorite hero for 1. 2, if I let him die, I would be just as bad as the villains that tried cutting his head in half. And 3, he has a family and is a loving person that would help anyone. Why would I let someone like that leave this world? Also, I'm a vigilante, not a villain. I added, okay, thank you for saving his life. When can he come home? Meet me at the XXXX where you can pick him up. I'll wait with him till you get there. Thank you so much, I'm on my way. Oh, and Mike? Go alone. I don't want to see or hear anyone else but you, got it? Yes. When I showed up, I saw Mike standing next to his car with a worried look on his face. God, That took forever with his heavy butt. I mutter, holding Eraserhead on my back. Mike spun around so fast it probably gave him whiplash. Oh my god. He grabbed Eraser off my back and embraced him in a hug, to which I couldn't help but think, I wonder what it's like to get a hug. Suddenly, I saw Mike place Eraser in the back of his car before turning to me, to which I got confused. When was the last time you had a hug, listener? Shit, I said that out loud. Don't let him go on patrols for 2 days and make sure he's eating better. He's too skinny for being a pro. I turn around and rush away back to my base/house. I heard Mike scream, wait, but I was already long gone. Chapter 3. Izuku's POV. I checked my phone to see that there was a person challenging me to a game of chess. His name was Chimera. Now, my name is Glitch, so I'm pretty sure Nizu found out who I am. Don't ask how I knew it was Nizu. Chimera. Hello Glitch, would you like to play a game of chess? Glitch. Under one condition. Chimera. And what would that be? Glitch. Change your name to Rat Satan or Nizu. Rat Satan. Okay, how did you know I was Nizu? Glitch. Rat Satan. Glitch. We're not here to talk and you're not going to really get anything out of me, so let's play. Rat Satan. Fine by me. After playing a few rounds with Rat Satan, I had to go. Glitch. Well, Nizu, I gotta go on patrol now, so talk to you later. Rat Satan. Goodbye. Glitch. Bye. I don't trust that rat. Doing what I do best, I hacked into UA quickly and deleted all traces of me before Nizu could do anything. I soon after went out for patrol. I was jumping around and saw some guy with fluffy purple hair getting pulled into an alley by some thug. Give me all your money, kid. The kid in question looked around my age and he is taller than me. What am I talking about? Everyone's taller than me. Anyway, the kid looked bored while the thug looked distracted talking to the purple-haired kid, so I jumped down behind them and knocked the thug out. That was easier than I thought. I was about to tie up the thug when some other guys came out. Can't believe that actually worked. One of the thugs laughed. Y'all are stupid. They all looked at me confused. When you try to ambush someone, you don't talk. You stay in the shadows. Also, do you really think 4 people are going to be able to take me out? I laugh. Well, you're gravely mistaken. A few seconds later, all the thugs were on the ground tied up. Hey, what's your name? I looked at the purple-haired boy, not hearing him correctly. What Ash? My body froze and my muscles tensed. Take off your mask. I did as I was told, freaking out in the process. What's happening? Damn it, I got to stop. No, my body won't listen. My thoughts halt in shock as my mask was now off, revealing my identity. Chapter 4. Izuku's POV. I was standing in the alleyway, mask off. Wow, you're as old as me, maybe even younger. The purple-haired boy stated. He took out his phone and took a picture. You're that vigilante that's been running around, right? Yes. I answered. No. I have to stop. Let's see, I can still think, so that's good. Maybe if I concentrate hard enough. I felt like something snapped before I was back in control. Delete that or else. I threatened, holding up a blade to his neck. He looked at me, then his phone. Oh, and what will you do if I don't? I grabbed my mask from his hand and put it back on. I then pulled up a screen via my quirk and started to hack into his phone. After looking through for a bit as the purple-haired boy stood still, I deleted the picture from his phone. Now there is no more evidence. I proudly stated, placing my blade back in my shoe. The purple-haired boy looked surprised, quickly looking through his phone to find the picture gone from his album. What Ash? Don't even try to track me down. I'm Japan's greatest hacker. I mean, it's kinda my quirk, but still. He looked at me for a second before finally speaking. You know, you just told me your quirk. I can tell the police now. Nah, it's not in the system, so it won't work. I also already hacked all the police stations, so even if you give them info, it will disappear within minutes. I look at the purple-haired boy, which made me think. He looks like Eraserhead. He had bags under his eyes, almost as big as mine, and his hair sticks up like Eraser when Eraser uses his quirk. He also smells like coffee and cats, and last but not least, he's most likely an insomniac with the eye bags. Hey, I've got a question for you. I state with my hands at my hips. He looked at me with suspicion. What? Are you related to Eraser at all? You know, pro-hero Eraserhead. No, I'm not. Now move. I've got to go to the police station. Wait, he's still going? Ugh, fine. I'll just change my appearance whenever I go out into public. Thanks a lot, eyebags. I then disappeared. Just like my mother. Hitoshi's POV. I walked out of the alley, letting myself finally relax. Demon, he was as short as a gnome. A scary gnome with a knife. I shivered at the thought. Then I slapped myself in the face and walked into the police station. I was so distracted by my thoughts, I didn't even know I was there yet. Hello, sir, how may I help you? I looked at the person at the front desk. It was a guy with a cat head. I wanted to pet him. No. Stay focused. Yeah, I just had a run-in with the Vigilante glitch and saw his face. The cat person looked shocked and didn't even try to hide it. Okay, sir, please wait a minute. He got up and walked down a random hall. A few minutes later, he came back with a detective and Eraser. Oh my god, it's Eraserhead. My favorite hero ever. Hello, I'm Detective Tsukachi. This is pro-hero Eraserhead. Straight to the point, I heard you saw Glitch's face. I suddenly became nervous. Okay, please follow me to the interrogation room. We walked down a bland hall for a bit before stopping and walking into a basic-looking room. It makes me want to sleep. Honestly. I took a seat while the hero and detective took a seat across from me. Okay, let's get this over with. My quirk is a human lie detector, so please do tell the truth. Okay, so he's a boy who's about 5, he's 14 or 15 years old, he has fluffy green hair with black roots, green eyes, and has freckles on his face. The detective was writing while Eraserhead won't stop staring. Continue. He said that if you look for him on your computers or look for any files that you wouldn't find anything. He said he deleted everything and took the files. He also said that he's going to change his appearance so you wouldn't be able to find him in public. Tsukachi looked to be annoyed as he chewed on his pen while Eraserhead looked to be in deep thought. I've met someone with those exact looks. Chapter 5. Aizawa's POV. I was walking on the Takoba Municipal Beach, looking for the green-haired boy. I was told that the green-haired boy would go here and clean the area, so this was one of the first places I checked. It was completely clean, not a single piece of trash lay on the sand. Unfortunately, there was also not a single green-haired boy either. I walked around town hoping to find the kid, but I had no luck. I did come across a kid with fluffy black hair and blue eyes. He did have the same roundish head and fluffy hair that the green-haired kid had, but not the freckles. No, Luke, wait, the kid was talking to some spiky blonde with red eyes. That could help. I turned around and ran back to the police station. 2 hours later, I was in front of the Bakugu's residence. Sadly, the detective couldn't come with since he had paperwork to do. I knocked on the door 3 times then waited. I started hearing yelling and banging. I was getting worried, till the door opened. Hello, what can I do for you? A young woman said sweetly with a smile. She looked almost exactly like the blonde kid with red eyes. I'm looking for a kid, his name is Bakugu Katsuki. Oh, what did that demon brat do now? She questioned with her arms crossed, leaning against the door frame. She seemed like she expected Katsuki to have done something. Nothing, ma'am. I'm just here to ask him about a kid with fluffy green hair, green eyes, and freckles on his face. She looked me up and down before replying. His name is Izuku Midoriya. He goes to the same school Katsuki does. Though, I don't know where Izuku lives anymore. He and his mother moved away a while ago. Why are you looking for him anyway? She questioned. I bet it was because of my looks. As an underground pro-hero, not many should know about me. He is a part of a police case, but that's all I can tell you. Could you please tell me the school's name? It's Aldra High. It's a few blocks down south, past the local pharmacy. Thank you, ma'am. Just so you know, I am pro-hero Eraserhead. I pulled out my hero license and showed her it before quickly placing it back in my scarf. Have a good day, ma'am. I started to walk away back to the police station. Why you too? I heard her yell out before I heard a door shut. I sigh in exhaustion. 3 days later. We had gotten enough evidence as well as a warrant to know it's the Midoriya kid. We have all the heroes from UA. Nizu, for some reason, brought Endeavor against my own judgment as well. Me and 3 police officers were walking down the hall in Aldra High while all the other heroes were waiting outside. They were prepared to capture Glitch just in case he tried to escape when we confronted him. We were in front of his class now. All we had to do to get in the building was show our warrant and go on our merry way. God, I wish he could have been called to the office instead. We opened the class door and walked in, hoping for the best. Izuku's POV. I was having a funny feeling in my stomach today, like something's going to happen, something interesting. I walked into the school, getting the normal insults as always. People were also trying to trip and/or punch me. I got hurt already via Bakugo, so now I sport a black and bruised right eye. Kinda glad it didn't swell shut. I had to keep up my act of the quirkless and weak kid. One day, I'm going to show them who I really am. Maybe that day was today. Class started and I was spacing out again because fortunately, I already knew the stuff we were learning. To be honest, I probably know more than the second smartest person on Earth. Nizu is the first. I was sitting in class tuning out the rest of the world when I heard my name get called. Izuku Midoriya, please come with us. I looked up from my desk to see 3 police officers and Eraserhead standing in front of the class. Took them long enough. I knew I felt other people here. Quick question, why'd you bring Endeavor? You know he wants to kill me, right? They just looked at me with blank faces. Izuku Midoriya, please come with us for questioning. I looked them straight in the eyes. No. Chapter 6. Izuku POV. I would put the guns down, someone could get hurt. I mean, I wouldn't mind them getting hurt, but on my watch? Never. I mused as I stood up with my arms crossed. Eraser just stared at me for a few seconds. If you extras are here for this worthless nerd, you're wasting your time. A nerd can't do a thing, much less fight. Bakugo laughed with his goons behind him. While Bakugo was ranting, I took out my mask and placed it on my face, then took off my school uniform to show my vigilante costume. I'm a very paranoid person as you can tell. Bakugo, when are you going to learn to stop being so full of yourself? He looked at me with pure shock evident on his pale face. Well, Eraser, good luck trying to catch me. You'll need it. I jumped out the window nearest to me, but of course not before throwing a glitter bomb in there. The room was coated in glitter. I landed in an alleyway and started running to the wall where there were no heroes. I jumped up the wall, and just as I was jumping off from the top of the wall, a giant fireball flew over my head. And right into the orphanage. How ironic. Chapter 7. Izuku's POV. The orphanage was burning and children were stuck in there screaming for their lives. Guess what the heroes were doing? Standing there in shock. What the F dash? I ran into the fire grabbing screaming kids and throwing them out the window cause I know Mike, Midnight, and Eraser will catch them so I'm not scared. But they probably are. So far my leg is burned from jumping into the burning building, my back is burned from wood falling on me, and my arm is burned from protecting a kid from a mini explosion. Probably a few broken bones too. Nothing too bad. I was going to the basement now looking to see if there were any kids left. There were 3 floors and a basement. I got all the kids out from all 3 floors. I went into the basement. There were no kids left but the fire was getting dangerously close to the gas tank. I ran to the first floor and the building blew up. I used one of my hardest moves and put an electric shield up, and since Lady Luck is a FING beach she threw me into a agency. Hawk's agency. I mean it's better than Endeavor's or worst All Might. I looked up to see what room I was in and it was a meeting room with heroes doing a meeting. They all just stared at me. I was currently across the room covered in soot and glass and probably blood. I studied the room and there were a lot of pros popular and unpopular, like Hawks or Mirko. Just go back to your meeting and pretend I was never here. Mirko was the first one to snap out of it. Kid, you got to sit down, you got burns all over your body? Then Hawks snapped out of it. And a metal pole sticking out of your side. Wait, metal pole? I looked down at my side. Not the first time, anyway I got to go, it didn't hit any vital organs and I can just stitch myself up. Listen kid, I know you're a vigilante and all, but we can't just let you walk out of the building looking like that. You'll die. That was fat gum this time. Well, if I don't leave and stitch myself up, I'll die of blood loss, or Endeavor will come and burn me alive. He already burned down the orphanage. I don't want to be next. All the pros in the room were listening now. What? Hawk spoke up again, and he seemed mad. Yeah, he threw a fireball at me and it missed and hit the orphanage. I got all the kids out, but the building blew up with me inside it and threw me all the way here. I used my hands to make a demonstration because why not? All the pros were said, even Hawks, and it's hard to make him mad. Anyway, I have to go stitch myself up. Then I ran over the table and jumped out the window, and yes, it was a tall building. It is Hawk's agency. I was sitting in my home doing nothing, bandages all over me. I got bored, so I turned on my makeshift TV. Today the local orphanage burned down because a group of heroes including Endeavor tried to capture the vigilante known as Glitch but failed to comprehend him. We have a video on Glitch jumping into the fire and throwing kids out of the building while the heroes went and caught the kids. Not the safest save ever, but right as the last kid got out the building blew up, throwing the vigilante into Hawk's hero agency. Wow, I made the news again. Wait, that's just going to get more heroes on my tail. Fuck. The vigilante escapades the hero's agency with multiple burns and a metal rod sticking out of his side. We don't know if he's still alive, but if he is a true hero to us and all the orphans he saved. Well shit, I did not expect something like this to happen. They think I might be dead. Hee hee haha, I got an idea. Chapter 8. Izuku's POV. It's been 2 weeks since I was discovered. I'm currently sitting on top of UA. All the heroes in UA are having a meeting in the room below, so I decided, why not watch? So far nothing has really happened, just some boring school stuff. Isn't too surprising since most heroes tend to be boring in general. They should really learn to shut windows. 1 hour later. I was about to leave when I heard someone say my vigilante name. Has anyone seen Glitch lately? Aw, I guess Eraserhead really does care. No, it's been 2 weeks and we haven't even seen a glimpse of him. Snipe replied. I put my hand on my chin, tilting my head. Not even a glimpse? I must be really good at hiding then. Did I think it's time to put him down as dead? I was surprised Nizu was the one to speak this time. He sounded disappointed. I sputter though. Me? What a joke. I guess I'll stop teasing them now. I pulled out a screen and started to hack into a speaker I knew was in that room. It gives me déjà vu from when I did the same thing to a police station, which is funny considering it was not too long ago. You can't get rid of me that easily. I cackled into the mic as they all stood and looked around frantically. You aren't going to find me in the school. Erasershed suddenly shot up. He's on the roof. Wow, great job, Sherlock. I nonchalantly respond with a smirk. I disconnect my mic from the speaker and dangle my legs off the roof, waiting. In mid-area. Long time no see, heroes. I stand and face the heroes, kicking my legs out with an eye smile. Number 1 way to annoy anyone is to act all smiley with no care in the world. Take Doma from Demon Slayer for example. Hold up, wrong fandom. Kid, weren't you impaled 2 weeks ago? Power Loader asked. Duh, and? My finger sucked as I looked over at Eraser as he looked like he wanted to erase me from existence. Why didn't you go to the hospital? Oof, Eraserhead sounds mad. The question was stupid though. Is he on something? And risk getting caught? No way bro, I would rather die. I cackle, suching the weight distribution between my legs. I could see the anger radiating off of the pro, which was odd because Eraser is never this emotionally active. That's it, I'm going to kill him. Eraser started walking towards me with his quirk activated. The other heroes didn't move, in fear of the infamous Dadzawa. So I did what I did best and took out a pink glitter boom and threw it at Eraser. It hit him, to which he became still. You could practically see the glitter melt off of him as his eye twitched. It was nice seeing you all. Bye. Cue me jumping off the roof like the vigilante I am. I got back to my house and went to do what any logical person would do. I texted the person I PSS off the most. Hey ya hobo. Caterpillar. Who's this? Your most favorite Vigilante. Laughing face. Caterpillar. Glittergot. Ya new loves me. Caterpillar. I think you misspelled loath. Your grammar is terrible by the way. Is your caps glitchy or something? Glittergod. Me sadder now, crying face. Caterpillar. What do you want? Glittergod. Can see and cry Aaron? Caterpillar. Glittergod. Okay Phi Thien. I'm going on patrol in few hours Buet got buried Wang Sui I texted my favorite hero. Caterpillar. Okay 1 You have stitches on, you can't go out and fight people. 2. Text Mike asking how to get glitter out of clothes. Glittergod. Nor you way more fun to torment. Anywho I think you can lies till 7. Caterpillar. I burned the clothes and no I'm not going to humor you. Glittergod. Vome on inerasse imbured /. Glittergod. Don lavi mi unri. Glittergod. Hyaizio waplse. Glittergod. Shoyuda? Glittergod. Finijo on peel early 2 nrttd. A few hours later. So it's currently 2 in the morning and I'm sitting in an alleyway bleeding out. Yep, got stabbed in the back, in the thigh, and my stitches broke. Don't you just hate it when that happens? So guess who I'm contacting? Eraserhead. Yay. Glittergod. Hey Dadzo. Caterpillar. What in the hell is Dadzo? Glittergod. Dadzoe. Caterpillar. Don't call me that. Glittergod. Will don't kaari what you have ta em still made atu fair laving min, on read. Glittergod. Anyway I need some help, I'm currently bleeding out in an alleyway at XXXXXXX, can you please come help I can't walk. I smirk. Yes the entire time I purposely misspelled things with terrible grammar. I just feel like absolute shit to continue doing so. Caterpillar. Why didn't you start with that? I'm on my way. Don't fall asleep. Glittergod. Okay Dadzua but I'm starting to see black spots. Also don't under any circumstances bring me to a hospital or infirmary. Caterpillar. Why? Glittergod. I'll go into a really bad panic attack. No further question I can't type anymore. Caterpillar. Glittergod. Because I'm blacking out. Caterpillar. No don't go to sleep. Caterpillar. Glitch. Caterpillar. Caterpillar. Izuku. The last thing I saw before blacking out was my name on the screen. Ha loser. Chapter 9. Izuku's POV. When I opened my eyes it was dark. Till I saw a bright light out of the corner of my eye. I turned to see what it was but it was warm I want to go to it. It felt so welcoming. My legs started moving on their own towards the light. It felt amazing but before I could go any further I remembered something I had to do but I couldn't remember what it was. I started hearing beeping and the warm light started fading. I was about to run to it but I couldn't. I had to find out what I had to do so I turned around and ran the other way. Just then I jolted awake. I looked around me to see I was in a house. Aizawa's house. Really I chose death over this. Excuse me, me head to the side to see Aizawa sitting there. You know. Okay Satan you can take me now, I don't want to have deal with this sheet. I sat there for a few seconds before accepting my fate. I'm stuck on Earth. Hey Aizawa, what? Why is there a bandage over my left eye? I don't remember them injuring me there. I looked him and saw a flash of guilt come across his face. After I found you in the alley I started to run back to my house but I was ambushed by about 10 people. Half of them had mutation-based quirks so it was pretty hard to deal with. I was in the middle of taking down some of them when I heard one guy point you out to the others. I turned to see 3 guys around you. He paused for a minute before continuing. I was still surrounded by 4 people and I couldn't get to you before they cut one of your eyes. He hung his head in shame, not wanting to make eye contact. No pun intended. Thanks for protecting me Dadzua but I have a few questions. Did you get injured? Where's Present Mike? Aren't you guys married? Did any of the thugs get away? Am I going to jail now? 'Cause I can't walk. Do you have any cats? I love cats. He looked at me with a little surprised on his face before he got his feelings under control again. I only got a few minor injuries. Stop being so selfless and worry about yourself. Hizashi is at the store picking up a few groceries. You aren't going to jail 'cause if you did then this fanfiction would be over. Yes I have cats, 8 to be exact, and good. If you didn't like cats then you would have a hard time living with us. Okay then. It took me a few minutes to register all the information before something not me live with us. Wait what do you mean live with you? I scream, my blanket balling to the floor, showing empty, bandaged and scared body. Don't yell and let me explain. About an hour later, Aizawa was done explaining. I'm going to be living with him from now on so he can keep an eye on me. I'm going to UA now starting in 2 months. That will give me enough time to adjust and heal, and because school doesn't start for another 2 months. I was sitting in my room talking to Aizawa when present Mike bursts into the room. Is he awake yet? I'm so bored. He stopped talking when he saw me. So, he is awake. I was getting bored and I got the supplies you asked for. I looked at Aizawa with suspicion. Don't worry, it's just coffee and sleeping pills. Okay, what are the sleeping pills for? Sleeping. I was still very suspicious, so I just stared at him. It's been a couple of hours and I was exploring their house. Aizawa was right, he does have cats. There are 3 currently on me, 1 on my head, another one on my shoulders, and I'm carrying 1 in my arms. I walk into the living room and sit on the other side of the couch from Mike. So, little listener, what do you do for fun? I turned my head to answer and I heard a click and I saw a phone in his hand. Delete that, I say almost immediately. No way, this is going on the wall. I glared at him. I could just hack into his phone, but my left eye still has bandages on it and I would rather not get dry eye. Fine, whatever, I say with an angry pout. I don't pout, ignore that. So, you excited to start school? Mike asked, trying to start a conversation. Well, I'm excited to go to UA, but there's a kid there I don't want to see. Oh, what's his name? We can deal with him. I look at him and he looked at me. You'll find out when school starts. Chapter 10. I changed it up. The first day of school will be like any other day except for the quirk test and whatever they were doing in the auditoriums. Izuku POV. So the first day of school starts right about no. That's right, I'm sitting in the back of the class. Class 1A to be exact. Bakugo still hasn't noticed me. Probably too busy with his ego to pay attention to anything else but himself. Aizawa walked into class and said something about time, then told us to go change. I was the last one to leave class but the first to leave the locker room. Once everyone was outside, Aizawa said we are doing a quirk test, and whoever gets last will be expelled. I raised my hand about to ask him if I could leave now, but he interrupted. No, you can't leave, problem child, you know you're not going to be expelled unless you do something illegal, so I just did all the tests and staying out of Bakugo's line of sight. We were at the ball through now and it was my turn. Hey gravity girl, come here. I called out to the girl that got infinity. Wise. Touch the ball, she complied, still confused. After the ball weighed literally nothing, I threw it and got infinity just like the girl besides me. The class started yelling at me, telling me how that was cheating and how I shouldn't use other people's quirks to get a better score. By now Bakugo noticed me, so I didn't even try to hide anymore. My god, shut up, I don't give a flying F about your guys' opinions, okay? Aizawa said to do these challenges anyway, we wanted just try to get to the top. He also said I could do anything as long as I didn't leave the circle. For all I care, I could have hacked his phone and made all of you fail, but I didn't, so shut up and be happy. After I said that, no one wanted to look at me, except of course the angry Pomeranian that's stomping my way. What the hell are you doing here? I'm pretty sure I'm doing school, Bakugo. Didn't I tell you not to apply to you? Yes, and I ignored you and did it anyway. You think you're better than me, huh? Not really, no. He was about to punch me, but I grabbed his arm and put it behind his back so he couldn't move, so I chicken wing him. Bakugo, I don't give a f about what you have to say. I'm stronger, smarter, and much calmer than you are. I could easily win in a fight against you, yet I still don't think I'm better than you. That's what I grew up learning and that's what I'll always think. So shut the F up, I'm tired of hearing you yell all the time. I dropped him to the ground and started to walk away, but Bakugo tried to punch me again. I just kicked him in the stomach. I walked over to the board and of course I was in first. There was a perv that was in last, but Aizawa had him stay. I don't see why though, to me he has no potential. We were in class, getting to know each other. I was sitting in the back of the room though. I don't like to talk to people, you can thank Bakugo for that, but I also don't want to make friends. Gravity Girl and Engine Boy started to walk up to me, and as I said before, I don't want to talk to people, so I jumped out the window. I literally dove out the window right before Sonic could say something. When I jumped out the window, people started screaming and calling Aizawa. I suddenly got this bad feeling in my gut, and over the years of vigilante work, I learned to follow that instinct. So right before I hit the ground, I grabbed Aizawa's scarf and used it to slow my fall. After that I ran around the building checking every nook and cranny, checking the inside and out of the building. I still couldn't find anything, so I went over the wall because the school was on lockdown thanks to the press. After I landed, I looked around, I turned to my left, and I had all the press stare at me. I ignored them and went searching for something, I of course still don't know what. Then some lady came over to me. "Excuse me kid, are you perhaps in class 1A? Yes, and yes, All Might is a teacher in one of my classes." She was about to ask me a question about it, but I interrupted her. "But don't ask me about All Might, I don't like him and I'm not exactly pleased that he's one of my teachers. Now go away, I'm busy," I said as I turned around and started walking away. That was till I felt something wrap around my waist and pull me up. I was about to punch them when I saw it was just Eraser. "Oh, I thought you were someone important." "Haha, very funny. Now what do you think you were doing?" "Just jumping out a window, running around school, then jumping over the wall." "On lockdown?" I have a bad gut feeling, so I followed it. He started lecturing me while I was still hanging there and he was standing on the wall. The press saw the whole thing, but they will be the only ones, cause during the lecture I hacked into their cameras and shut them down. He dragged me back inside and to the teacher's lounge, where I started to eat lunch since I'm untrustworthy to eat in the cafeteria with other kids. Chapter 11. Izuku's POV. I got bored of sitting in the teacher's lounge, so while everyone wasn't looking I climbed into the air vents. See, I already knew this school inside out, and yes, that means the air vents, I might have been in them before. Many times. What can I say, they're fun. I already did all my work for this week, so I'll be fine. I hope. I was walking home when I heard a scream. I followed the scream and found a guy cornering a little kid saying some messed up shit. I hate human trafficking just as much as I hate socializing, and that's saying something. I punched the guy in the face. While he was getting up, I pushed the kid out of the alley. He stood up and tried to punch me. I ducked down and kicked his feet out from under him. I was about to wrap things up when a blue and white portal opens up a few feet away from me. It started to pull me in and I couldn't get away. Before I was fully in the portal, I saw the police tackle the guy while he's laughing, saying, "Good luck trying to find that stupid kid," before everything went black. When I woke up again, I was in an alleyway. It was getting dark out and it was around 6 o'clock at night. I got up off the ground and started walking. I was still wearing my UA uniform and I don't know where my backpack is, so I have no weapons. Great. I was walking to Aizawa house, but there was a problem. It wasn't there. In fact, the whole block was gone, still under construction. I was confused, so I started to walk to my abandoned house. When I got there, I noticed a few things. 1, the house was completely intact. 2, people were living there. And 3, there was a kid standing outside just staring at me. I looked at him. He was also wearing the UA Hero class uniform. He had blonde hair, green eyes, and orange glasses. He looked exactly like a mini present Mike. He looked just as confused as me, if not more. He started to call someone while still staring at me. "Hey Sho, where are you at the moment?" he said, still staring at me. "Oh, would you mind coming to my house quickly, please?" I could only hear part of the conversation. I was still too shocked and confused to move. "I know you are already on your way, but you have to get here faster. You'll see when you get here. Then run, I don't care that you're only a block away." "Yes, it looks important." "Yeah, okay, I'm hanging up now. If I die, you can have my glasses. My sunglasses are amazing." He hung up just as I started to back away. "Hey kid." I looked him up and down. He looked about 2 years older than me. "Don't hey kid me, you look to be only 2 years older than me, so that makes you a kid too." "Well, you're younger than me, so that makes you a kid." "No, that's not how it works." We fought like that for about 1 more minute before I felt something fly my way. I quickly grabbed the thing that came flying at me and pulled it forward very harshly. I jumped away from that person and got in a fighting position. The person got up and they looked like a mini Aizawa. Why do they look like Mike and Aizawa? "Who are you?" the mini Aizawa asked. I looked back to mini Mike and he was also in a defensive pose. Then I remembered, it all came flooding back to me. I was SE through a portal while fighting a villain that woke up in an alley. Oh my god, I went back in time. With that I fell backwards onto my butt. Mike and Aizawa both came a few steps closer to me. Aizawa was about to speak again, but I interrupted him. That a-hole used his quirk on me. Well, I wasn't looking. They both looked confused. How am I supposed to get back home now, beach? While I was cussing up a storm, the 2 high schoolers just looked confused. "Hey kid, what are you talking about?" Now that got my attention. "Oh, I forgot you guys were here." Chapter 12. Izuku's POV. There were two of my teachers standing in front of me, glaring holes through my head. Why, you may ask? Well, just read chapter 13 and you'll find out. I started to get up when Minizawa's scarf wrapped around me. Who are you? He asked in a suspicious tone. Well, Mike, looked like you could scream my eardrums out any moment. A person. What's your name? The cockatoo asked this time. Batman. Aizawa just looked irritated as always. Where do you live? Sesame Street. Now let me go, I didn't do anything wrong. If. Why are you wearing the UA Hero class uniform? That I did not know how to answer, so I just stayed quiet. Aizawa raised an eyebrow and tightened his scarf. Listen, Aizawa dash. I quickly shut my mouth. I said his name. He's going to kill me. He's going to think I'm some sort of villain. And as if he could read my mind, he asked. How do you know my name? Are you some kind of villain? As if I could be a villain. You know, I don't even think I could be a villain even if my life depend on it. And it did a few times. I mumbled the last part, but it seems like he heard it anyways. Okay then, kid, how did you know my name? He said, pulling me closer. God lighten Aizawa, I know everyone's name and hero name plus some others things. Oh, and what would our full names be then? Your name is Aizawa Shoyuta, hero name Eraserhead, quirk eraser. You can erase anyone's quirk just by looking at them. It wears off once you blink, and it doesn't work on mutant type quirks. The cockatoo's name is Yamada Hizashi, hero name present Mike. He can amplify his voice to very loud volumes that can break glass and bust eardrums. I left out some things because if I didn't, then we would be standing here all night. You still didn't explain how you know all this stuff. It's my quirk. Geez, when I look at someone it gives me all their information. It activates when I see people. I'm so damn good at lying, I should get a reward. Okay, and what about that UA uniform? I found it in the trash. It's not even UA's. See how different it looks. I don't even have the tie. It's also covered in mud and is ripped. Just sprinkling a little more lies in there. It's not like it's going to hurt anyone. I lied. Lies hurt many people all the time, and here I am lying to Aizawa and Yamaba. They're like family to me, but of course I would never tell them that. Ugdim, it's way easier to lie to villains. Aizawa started using his quirk on me now. Tell us the truth now. Okay, calm down. The truth is I'm just a figment of your guy's imagination. He was caught off guard by this stupid answer and he blunked, and with that one moment I vanished into thin air like a ghost, freaking them both out. Chapter 13. Warning. Hey, this is a warning. This has manga spoilers, a lot of manga spoilers, so if you don't know any of this, do not read it, will spoil it. Warning. Izuku POV. So I did some research using my quirk, of course, and found out his quirk will wear off whenever the user feels like it, but the longer he waits the weaker he gets till he dies. If he dies, I will automatically go back to my timeline. Also, I get to see a little bit of the future in my timeline. It's not good, so I can have to stop it now. After reading his info, I got up and found a new abandoned place to live, a warehouse that they took down when I was around 5. I'll make a new vigilante costume and be a vigilante till I can go back. I'm so excited. I miss being a vigilante, and I'm running from different pros, so I can't wait to see how that plays out. Oh my god, I'm on my 4th day being a vigilante here, and I haven't even been close to getting caught. I have seen and been chased by lots of pro heroes, including the old FANG symbol of peace. Her name is Nana, her quirk float. I'm actually running from her right now, and she may be slower than All Might, but she's way smarter. HY, I'm hacker. What's your name? I had to change my vigilante name for safety reasons. You can call me Nana. And how old are you? You seem a little young. I stop. This place is different from the newer Japan, but I caught on quickly. Well, since I'm only going to be here for a little bit, I might as well tell you some things. She didn't try to catch me, she just sat down at the edge of the roof. Okay, how old are you? I'm 15. Really? Wow, how come you're a vigilante? I thought about telling her, and she seemed safer than All Might, so might as well tell her. Ain't going to hurt anyone. Maybe. Well, to tell you the truth, the only reason I'm here is because someone with a time quirk sent me here. They were a villain I was fighting, and they used their quirk on me right before the pros showed up. Really? So you were a vigilante in the future then? Yes, and was it fun? That's actually how I met my family. Oh, that's nice. So does that mean you know what's going to happen to all of us in the future? Yes, actually. Wait. This hasn't happened yet, but I need to stop this. What's wrong? Can I help? I look at her, then quickly go over the thing I saw on the future and the things I heard. Yes, actually, you're the only person who can stop this. She looked at me, then got up. Tell me what I need to do. Okay, I know you don't trust me, but I need you to follow me to a safer place. She looked skeptical at first but then nodded and followed me. At the warehouse. So this is where you've been hiding? Yes, and after this meeting I'll probably move again. She looked at me and I knew she was probably thinking of plans just in case I turn on her. Which won't happen. Okay, now that I know where safe I can tell you this. She looked at me with a serious face. Every One for All user went up against a guy named All for One. How do you know about this? In the future I found out about All Might's true power, then I did some research and hacking and poof, here I am with all this dangerous information. But anyway, back to the topic at hand, you are going to go up against this guy too, and you will. I looked at her in the eyes. I know this already, so why are you telling me this? What is so important that you have to remind me that I don't have much time left? I did not mean to make you sad, but in the future your great-grandson will be taken by All for One and turned into a villain. She had a look of pure horror on her face. What, but how? You told All Might and Gran Torino that you wanted them to have nothing to do with heroes after your husband died, so you told them to stay away from him. You asked them to promise that they will stay away. They did stay away, but because they stayed away, All for One got him and turned him into a villain after he accidentally killed his family and turned into a villain that everyone fears. When I looked at her again, she looked heartbroken. What do I do then? You need to tell them to take care of him, watch over him, make sure he's safe, please. I know my time is running out, I'm gonna be pulled back soon, but you have to make sure that he is safe for his safety and the world's. She looked like she was about to cry. Can you promise me you'll do that? Why, yes, I promise. Thank you. Everything then went black. When I opened my eyes again, I was in the hospital. I need to see how the future has changed, so I jumped out of bed and got my clothes on and left without anyone noticing. Chapter 14. Izuku's POV. From the looks of it, nothing really has changed well except that I'm still a vigilante. Also, Shigaraki isn't evil, he's actually an underground pro hero, and Dabi, he's also a pro, just not underground. Toga and Twice, though I don't know what happened to them. There's one more thing that I'm really sad about. Aizawa doesn't know who I am anymore. He only knows who I am as a vigilante. Again, I never met anyone in UA. It seems I live in an old apartment and my vigilante costume still looks the same. I checked a few more things just in case, like have I killed anyone yet? Thankfully I haven't. My bed is decent, so I laid down and cried myself to sleep. I can't believe no one will remember me outside of my vigilante suite. Aizawa's POV. I found a random kid in an alleyway. He was unconscious and wearing a weird costume. I brought him to the hospital cause he was barely alive, but when I asked the nurse to see him, she said he disappeared. What? How did he just disappear? He was on the brink of death. I'm sorry, sir, but I don't know. We checked the footage, but it's like he was never there. I let out a ling sigh and kept speaking. Thank you for your time, ma'am. Great, now I have to deal with a rude vigilante and a missing kid. I called Tsukachi and told him about the missing kid. I asked him to find out who he is and where he lives. But when he got back to me, he tells me the kid has been missing for years, thought to be dead. On patrol. I was on patrol when I saw the vigilante. He looked deep in thought, so I tried to catch him but didn't as usual. Oh, hello, Eraserhead, nice night, is it not? Something's wrong, shouldn't he be insulting me by now? What are you up to? He looked confused when I said that, then he asked a stupid question. What do you mean, what am I up to? I'm doing my patrol. Yes, but usually when you see me, or any pro to be exact, you insult them. Now he looked surprised. Why would I? Oh. What, you're acting like you've never done that before. Well, you see, Izuku's POV. Well, you see, I can't just say I was accidentally shot back into the past by a quirk and change the future so hundreds of people wouldn't die. Well, I could, but I'm not going to. I may or may not have lost a bit of my memory. Then how can you remember me? I don't know, I'm not some doctor, I just pretend to be one. I don't believe you. That's fine, but just to warn you, I now love glitter bombs and I will use them. You better not. Oh, I will. I give him a cackle and jump of the roof. After patrol. I'm now insanely depressed. I'm happy, but I'm still super sad that my father figure doesn't know who I am. Patrol was interesting. I was chased by Dabi at one point, then Shigaraki. They were close, well, as close as the pros can get. It turns out that UA hasn't started yet, so it's like I'm starting my life over again. I hate it. I have more important things to worry about, like the new LOV, and where I can get a taco, and if I should go to school. Next day. I enrolled in school, not the one I used to go to, or I guess never want to. I don't really. No, it's complicated. I only enrolled because there's nothing to do during the day, so yeah, here I am standing in front of a class of people I never seen before. Well, except for the kid with the purple hair, you know, the one that punched me in the face, yeah, that one. I'ma befriend him, and only that. I'm also going to talk to Aizawa again. I may or may not have gotten attached, don't judge me. I'm still a child. Chapter 15. Izuku's POV. Class ended and the purple-haired kid started to pack up fast. He was going to go to his next class. Not on my watch. Beach. Hey, what's your name? I asked him. Shinsou. He started to walk out the door. I knew what he was trying to do. It's not going to work though. That's a nice name, so what do you like to do for fun? He looked at me annoyed. If I tell you my quirk, will you leave? He asked in a harsh tone, but of course I've had worse, like Endeavor or Aizawa when he's mad. Probably not. A guy can brainwash people when they answer me. Oh, that's cool, very helpful. Are you planning on being a hero? He looked at me shocked but then nodded. Why do you look so shocked when I said that? Because only my dad's ever said that to me. Really sorry to hear that. I gave him a pat on the back and looked forward. He just shrugged and started walking, and I, of course being the awesome person I am, followed him. End of the day. We were leaving school now and he finally started talking. We had some small talk here and there till we showed up at his house. Wow, you got a nice house. I say, staring at the building. It was a 2-story house painted a grayish blue with white trim. There was a nice flower garden by the stairs and the sidewalk leading up to the house. Thanks, want to come in? Sure, but if I die I won't hesitate to steal all your coffee. He did a dramatic gasp as we walk inside. I'm home, he yelled. It was quiet for a minute till I started to hear stomping, then a really loud and energetic voice yell. Shinsou, how was school? Did anyone bully you? No, I can make them go deaf, right? Then a tired and gruff voice say, if you keep yelling you're going to make him go deaf, Mike. It's Eraser and Mike, they're his parents. They didn't have a kid last time. Oh yeah, fed with time. I stayed quiet, trying to hide my presence best as possible. They didn't seem to notice, so I slowly started inching to the door. Oh, and I made a friend actually. His name Aizu. What are you doing? Shinsou asked. Trying to avoid social interaction. He just stared at me. Hey, don't judge me. Your parents are pros, so of course I'm going to try not to socialize with them. I have issues, okay? They just stared at me. Okay, this is getting awkward. See you at school, Shinsou. I was about to walk out the door when Eraser got me. How did you know we were pros? I know every pro in Japan. Now please save the question for when I go to jail. Mike came up and asked me, why would you go to jail? Because I'm stupid and I'm always in the wrong place at the wrong time, I explained. Shinsou was just standing in the background watching like we're some kind of comedy show. Now you all know Aizawa, he is a very suspicious person, so he just kept staring at me. So I did a very stupid thing and threw a mini glitter bomb at him. He was now as pretty as a rainbow, sadly not as happy as one. Well, I'll have to talk to you later, Shinsou, cause your dad looks like he's going to kill me. Okay then, bye. Then I ran out the door, Aizawa of course following close behind. I'm sorry, I don't like people staring. It was my defense mechanism. Police saw him chasing me and stopped him, but I just kept running. That's how you escape a hobo guy or girls or attack helicopters. Chapter 16. Izuku's POV. I just did the stupidest FING thing ever. A couple hours ago I threw a glitter bomb at a pro, not just any pro, Eraserhead, the guy that's been trying to catch me for years. You know that guy. Anyways, I was back home laying in bed. I was really sad again. No one can remember me and I'm still too young to go to UA, but I don't even think I want to anymore. What if I just quit? I don't think the pro heroes, cops and detective will mind. And from what I've heard, I was a JRK before I came back. Not the vigilante I was in the last timeline, the one with glitter bombs, stupid jokes, and a good relationship with pros. I miss that timeline, but I don't want to change it. I'm happy for Shigaraki and Dabi. They deserve this. I don't know where Toga is or Twice, and I don't know what All for One is planning, but I'm happy for those two. I'm also happy for Shinsou, he has a family he can trust. If I could go back to my other timeline, I wouldn't. I'm fine as long as others are happy. On patrol, I was hoping around like the Easter Bunny looking for eggs. Just kidding. Like hell we are doing that. We got to find some crime. And Eraserhead, I've got to ask him some questions. I heard a scream from a few roofs down, so I ran to it. Guess who it was? Shinsou. He was surrounded by 3 people. I jumped into action right away. The guy threw a punch at me but I blocked it with my arm and gave him an uppercut. He stumbled for a bit and right when he was about to get his footing back I kneed him in the giblets. It did not look fun. After that guy fell unconscious I turned to the other girls. One had a black eye I'm guessing from Shinsou but now he was restrained with some rope. I was about to jump into action again but I heard a thump behind me. I glanced back quickly and it was a very angry Eraser. "What's up, Eraser?" I said but he just walked past me. The girls got ready to fight but they were down in seconds. You know that motherly strength mothers get when their child is in danger. Well, that's what Eraser got, except instead of motherly power it was his dad's strength. Shinsou got lectured after that then brought home. While Eraser was doing that I waited for the cops to come. I got bored so I went and asked them some questions. "Hey you," I pointed at the guy. "Why were you trying to kidnap him?" "How like I'd tell you. I'll knee you again dash." He started to panic then speak. Okay, we found out that kid was Eraser's so we thought if we got him we could take down Eraserhead, kill the kid in front of Eraser, we could break him." I was about to question him more but the police were getting close so I ran to find Eraser. When I found Eraser he was heading back from his house. He didn't seem happy and still had some glitter on him from when, well, you already know. "Hey Eraser." He just ignored me and kept on with his patrol route. I had to tell him, but every time I tried to get his attention he would ignore me. I got mad cause I don't really have control over my emotions, and when I don't have control over my emotions my quirk will kinda well glitch, and that's exactly what happened. I started to glitch and I transported right in front of him. He looked really shocked. "Glitch, what the foo dash?" I looked at him in horror. Before he could finish that sentence I glitched into the air, high in the air, like super high. So right now I was falling to my death, kind of like Megamind, but instead of that gun thing that turned him into a cube to save my life, it was Eraser. Right before I hit the ground he caught me in midair. He landed on another roof and put me down. He was about to ask questions but I just hugged him. "I'm still a child, okay, what do you expect?" He just hugged me back awkwardly. "'Cause just remember the old time line, I was in butt." "Sorry." I let go of him quickly and then interrupted him again. "Anyways, the villains said they found out about your kid so you have to be careful. Bye-bye." I ran away too embarrassed to face him. Chapter 17. Aizawa POV. I was walking through the police station. Now usually I would be in my warm bed next to my loud but husband, but after the events that happened last night I don't think I could sleep even if I swallowed a whole bottle of sleeping pills. I walked into the directive's office and sat down in the chair in front of his desk. "Let's get this over with. I don't want to be here and I know you don't want to be here either." He looked at me like I just grow second head. "Okay then what can I do for you, Eraser?" I found Glitch again. We talked for a bit. He told me he didn't remember anything that he used to do beside him being a vigilante. The detective looked at me with a shocked look on his face. He told me that he hit his head during a villain fight and he forgot almost everything. He started to write stuff on a notepad. Today I heard a scream. Glitch ran to it. I followed too and saw him fighting the thugs that were trying to kidnap my son, so I got mad and took him down. After I dropped my kid off at the house I went back on my patrol. I was said so I didn't really answer Glitch right away or at all. That seemed to make him mad. He teleported in front of me, and he was glitching uncontrollably. He looked like he was panicking. He was about to say something but he glitched away again. I stopped to let the detective write, then he motioned for me to continue. He glitched hundreds of feet in the air and started to fall. I seems like he was unable to glitch back to the ground, so I started to run and I caught him. I put him down and was about to ask what happens but he just hugged me. The detective looked up from his notepad and just looked at me. After that he said sorry then ran away. Well, that's new. Guess he's not as rude as he was last time. Did you get anything else? Yeah, he was about 5 feet 5 inches and he had I think fluffy green hair, but that's all I could make out. He wrote what I said down on his notepad. Okay, I'm gonna go set up a meeting with other pros on his case. I would really appreciate it if you would go out and look for him. I just signed. I knew I wouldn't get much sleep after what just happened. Fine. Izuku's POV. I went home after hugging Eraser but I couldn't sleep so I went out for a walk. I looked up and saw Eraser jumping around. Isn't he supposed to be in his cocoon by now? I wasn't in my vigilante costume so I just kept walking. It's been a few minutes and I was about to start to walk back till I was pulled into an alleyway. Of course. I looked to see who the person was. Well, people, I guess. There was about 5 people surrounding me. One took out a rope so I kicked them in the gut, they flew back a few feet. I'm not in the mood right now, so hurry up and tell me what you want. The person got up again. Listen kid, you're outnumbered, so let's just do this the easy way so we can get paid, we won't hurt you too much. They started to walk towards. Oh, so you're human traffickers, why am I not surprised? Thanks God, I hate you too. I screamed, I was about cuss out God more, but one of they people punched me. Hey, can't you see I am busy summoning Satan? I think this kid's on crack or something, let's just hurry up with him. Another person said, their hands suddenly turned into blades. Yeah, good idea. Another guy said he had 8 arms. A guy hates spiders, they all started to charge at me when the ground bursted into blue flames. Oh my God, is it really Satan? Someone with feathers covering their face said. Nah, that's just Dabi and Shigaraki, they usual patrol these parts. I said as I ran up to the guy that punched me and drop kicked him. Hey kid, get away, we got this, Shigaraki said. Hey, he punched me first, it's only fair I get him back. I was about to walk away but someone grabbed me by the neck and put a knife to it. Don't move or I'll kill the kid. It was the guy with knife hands. Both Dabi and Shigaraki stopped moving. Now we're going to take the kid a dash. What am I, a damsel in distress? I grabbed the person's wrist and broke it. It snapped just like a twig. He screamed in pain. I told you, I kicked them in the gut. I'm not in the mood right now, I said. The 2 heroes acted quickly after that. Dabi grabbed me around the waist, picked me up and moved me away from the danger, while Shigaraki went after the thugs. Stay, was all Dabi said and went to join Shigaraki. After the fight they called the detective, so I listened in like the good little vigilante I was. Hey Shigaraki was interrupted. Where are you guys? The meeting started half an hour ago. Yeah, we know we got caught up with some thugs that were attacking a kid. I then yelled out in the background. It's called human trafficking. They just look at me, so I looked back with a blank stare. Okay, then what was the meeting about again? He asked. Well, Dabi asked me question. I of course answered his questions with questions. The meeting was about the Vigilante glitch. We're all here talking about him now, we'll fill you in when you get here. Got it, send some cops, were taking them to the station, and then he hung up on him. Dabi, how's the kid? He seems perfectly fine, a little tired and malnourished, and every time I ask him a question he answers them with questions, so we'll have to take him down to the station too. Hey, wait, where'd he go? I heard them curse themselves while I walked through the sewers. When I got home I did some research on the dude's time quirk. Wait, I can get Aizawa his old memories back? Oh my God, really? But if I do he could figure out my identity. Should I really do that? I thought it over for a while, and even though I would rather be thrown into another orphanage and being blown up again, I think it's best I don't. I could end up having everyone Reagan their memory from the other timeline. I don't think that will be good. So I'll just suffer for now. To get my mind off this sad shit I went on hacking and looking for Twice and Toga. Chapter 18. Izuku's POV. So funny thing, I was thrown into another orphanage. Hey, before you start judging me, it wasn't Endeavor this time, he's actually nice in this timeline. This time I was thrown because I was caught up in the middle of a villain attack and the villain saw me. He thought I would be a good hostage. He had some pig mutation quirk, I'm not entirely sure, he was also yelling something about the government. So he grabbed me but I bit him, he didn't like that though, so he looked around for a bit, I don't even know why, then stopped like he found the perfect spot, then threw me. And that's how I ended up in an orphanage, with another pole sticking out of my side. Like, why would you do this, and why is there another pole sticking out of my side? Heroes showed up at the scene before I could get set off and try not to kill him in my civilian clothes. After the fight though I'm pretty sure that guy got away. But before heroes could try and get me I made sure everyone was alright, then crawled out of the orphanage and all the way home. Wait, don't I have school tomorrow? I mentally cursed myself for getting injured a day before school. I still have to avoid Eraser. On patrols or not. I bet he's still mad about the glitter bomb. It was totally worth it. I was nervous, it's a problem I have, if I get nervous I'll throw a glitter bomb or smoke bomb at the thing that makes me nervous. And that happens to be Eraser. It's totally a thing. When I got home I bandaged myself up and went to watch TV. I of course have to use my quirk to do that. When I opened that up I turned to the news. They saw me, they saw me, they didn't get a clear picture but they're now looking for someone with green eyes and green hair. This happened in the last timeline, why did it have to happen again? I still have a scare from the last poll, now I have another. And now people are looking for me again. I'm going to sleep, meaning I'm going to stay up watching HeroTube all night. What I need more info on heroes. Even though I could just hack into their stuff, whatever, this is more fun. I'm the morning. I changed my bandages and started to walk to school. People were already looking at me weird because I look like the person they described. If they saw me limp, then I'd be a goner. When I got to school, I saw Shinsou getting out of his car. Hey Shin, so why did your parents drop you of this morning? When I saw Shinsou, he looked at me like something bad was going to happen. Because I wanted to have a word with you. I didn't turn around, I just kept looking forward. Are you going to turn around? Eraserhead said with slight irritation in his voice. If I can't see you, then you can't see me. That's not how it works. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is, it's basic physics. Kid, I'm not going to dash. The bell rang right before he could finish that thought, so I went inside before he could say or do anything. Heh, saved by the bell, am I right? I looked over at Shinsou as I said that. You can't avoid him forever, you know. Wanna bet? Bet. And that's how I spent the rest of my week, avoiding Eraser and having my wound heal. The bet was that if I could avoid his dad for 1 week, he owes me easy cash, right? It's not like I do this every night, wink wink. Present day. Okay, you win, hey, race your money, but my dad is really trying to talk to you, he's getting annoyed. I'll make you a deal, well, him a deal, I guess. In the big mall we'll play a little game of hide and seek. If he can catch me before the day ends, I'll talk to him. If he doesn't catch me, then I'll keep avoiding him. He can pick 2 people to help find me. He just looked at me like I was insane. Deal. A voice said from behind us. I knew Eraser was there, that's why I said everything. When does it start? He asked. Tomorrow is Saturday, so Saturday at 7 a.m. right as the mall opens, and it will end at 9 p.m. right when it closes. If you can catch me, we can talk. Good luck. Also, I suggest you get 2 people to help, and just to make it more fun, it can't be Shinsou or Present Mike. Fine, see you tomorrow. Not if I have anything to say about it, I said with an innocent smile. Shinsou looked at me like I just grew a second head, then I turned around and left. Chapter 19. Izuku's POV. It was 6:45 in the morning. I was walking to the mall to meet Aizawa and see which people or heroes he chose to find me. The mall started to come into view, and so did the silhouette of 3 people. What the F dash? You brought the number 5 pro hero. Just a little thing, school for them didn't start yet, so All Might is still the number 1 and Hawks is still the number 4. Dabi and the underground pro hero Shigaraki. I was expecting you to bring Midnight, Snipe, or even Nizu. I was not expecting them. Wait, how do you know about me? I'm a well-hidden pro, Shigaraki questions. I just reached into my bag and pulled out my handy-dandy hero analyst notebook and let him read it. I have all the pros in Japan, not all in that particular notebook, but yeah. You know how dangerous that is to have for you and all the pros? Dabi asked while reading my notes on him. Yes, that's why it's all coded here, I'll show you. I took the notebook from him and shut it, then I have it back to him. Now try to read it. He opens the book and started to skim through the pages. What the F? I've never seen anything like this. How did you do this? Shigaraki asks while Dabi is still trying to read. You'll have to ask me if you're able to catch me, for now I got to run. I grabbed my notebook and ran into the store. They were close behind. There was no one in the store at the moment besides some workers and maybe a few early birds. So I was just running from them. That's all I could do for now. Not even all of the stores are opened yet. I see why Eraser chose Dabi and Shigaraki. They're both great at maneuvering around people and obstacles. They're also great at catching up to the people they are chasing. Dabi may be a long-range fighter, but he's fast and flexible. He can adapt easily under pressure. Shigaraki is a close-range fighter. He's also fast and great at adjusting to new situations. He also is good at reading people like books. Good thing I'm not a book. Half an hour later, while I was hiding in a store, I bumped into someone. I turned around and it was a kid with tape dispensers for elbows. He probably has a tape quirk. Sorry, didn't mean to bump into you, but why are you hiding? I'm playing a game of hide and seek with some pros. If you don't mind me asking, what's your quirk? You kinda sound like a villain, and my quirk allows me to shoot tape out of my elbows. Cool quirk, and no, I'm not a villain. I just made a deal with a hero. If they catch me, they can talk to me. I've been avoiding him all week, and if he catches me today, then we can talk. That sounds interesting. Well, good luck. Thanks bye. Oh, and fix the fourth wall for me please. I'll try but I might not be able to. You guys shattered that thing. Yes, sorry. I waved to him then walked through the store. I came across some walkie-talkies and got 4. I ran around on the 3rd floor of the mall looking for the group of pros. I know it's stupid. I spotted them so I waved Eraser down. He saw me just as I threw 3 walkie-talkies at him. He caught them and turned them on. What's this? I thought you might want to talk to me. I am awesome. You know we could just use these to split up and find you, said Shigaraki in a bored voice. That's not going to work but good luck. I waved at them then ran away. I have to have lunch with my dad at 12 o'clock. Hawks will be taking my place, said Dabi. Is that even allowed? You never said it wasn't, said Eraser. I could just hear his smirk from here. I'm ignoring you now. I then shut off the walkie and went to hide in the ceiling. Chapter 20. Izuku's POV. I was crawling around in the ceiling because why the hell not? I got bored though, so I peeked out and saw that the cost was clear. By now the mall was full of people, so I went into the clothes store and put on some black ripped overalls and a white shirt. I went to the shoe store and bought some black shoes. Then quickly went to the wig store and put on a brown hair wig. I didn't dye my hair because I still have to do vigilante work. I then went and got some brown eye contacts, and went to get some makeup on. Nothing interesting, just some stuff to cover up my freckles. I walked around the store for a bit. I got a popsicle to munch on. Well, I went looking for the heroes. Speak of the devil and they shall appear. I found them. Dabi was stuck in a crowd of fans. Most of them were girls, but there were still some guys in there. I found it funny. I saw Eraser and Shigaraki trying to find me still, but also trying to get Dabi out of the crowd. Then I heard Eraser say, "People please back away. We are on a mission and you guys are stopping us from doing our work." That got the people to clear away from him. I walked up to Eraser then. "Excuse me sir, I need some help finding someone. Could you help me please?" I said in a voice that was a little more high-pitched. Eraser sighs then starts to speak in a tired tone. "Sure. What do they look like?" "They're about this high, clearly gay, but we haven't had to talk yet. They are also a boy and a little bit sassy and bitches sometimes. He also likes to start trouble and cause problems for heroes." He just stares at me. "How about you tell me how they look?" "Oh okay, give me a minute." I started to take off my eye contacts then wipe of my makeup then I took of the wig. "He looks like this," I said pointing to my face. They just stare at me, so I turn and jump off of the 3rd floor and swing into the 2nd. I may or may not have started laughing, but who wouldn't? They looked so dumbfounded. "Aw man, I left my wig up there, that's sad. This was such a bad idea. I don't know what I was thinking playing hide and seek with pro heroes. This could cost me my identity." But here I am running around the mall. 12:07. I was running around minding my business when suddenly I started to be pulled in another direction. I quickly turned around to see Hawks. It's already 12 o'clock. I started to panic, so I quickly took that shirt off. I wouldn't say I was embarrassed, I mean I looked effing hot. I got abs and everything. The scars are the thing I'm worried about. I went into a clothes store and bought an Eraser head shirt quickly, then put it on and left. They were running my way while Hawks was flying. I needed a plan to get out. Wait, I have a quirk. I went back into the store and went to the bathroom. I went under the security camera so it wouldn't be able to see me, then I teleported out of there. I was now in an abandoned part of the mall. It was dark and the walls were cracking, the ceiling tiles were falling out and pillars were falling down. I went over to see how sturdy the wall was. It was a little moist, and when I put pressure on it, it fell to the ground. Wow, this is a perfect place for a villain attack. A huge explosion suddenly went of a few feet away from me. A tear silently slipped down my face. "Demon, I wish I knew how to keep my big mouth shut," I said as I started to run to where I heard the explosion. It wasn't loud enough for Eraser and his group of clowns to hear, but it was for me. When I got there I saw. Chapter 21. Izuku POV. I was kind of hoping it was just going to be like a small kidnapping or someone trying to rob someone. Nope, it's a full-on hostage situation. Like what the actual F-. There were about 30 people tied up and 5 people standing there holding them hostage. How the hell did they get down here? We are literally in the mall's basement, well, the abandoned part of the basement. Thank God for your teleportation quirk. Well, that was an easy answer. Right. All right, listen up, we all brought you down here for a reason. You're all rich kids. We're going to use you to make money, and if your families don't pay up, well, we'll just sell you. Now that I look closer, I see the group of people are children ages 4, so these people are going to use them. Great human traffickers, I hate those things, I mean people. And what's with all the human trafficking? There is so much of them. Okay, there are about 5 people, one has a teleportation quirk, another one has some type of mutation type quirk, but I don't know the other 3. I don't have my vigilante costume, but I do have a mask. I could call Eraserhead down here through the walkie, but that's not fun. But I'm also still wearing the same civilian clothes I was when Eraser came to try and catch me. I also don't have a hoodie on either. They will be able to tell that I'm the vigilante. Hey, I hear something. Everyone stops talking, even me. I was muttering. I look around again and I see one girl that pops out. She's a hero student in training, Momo. I remember her from my last timeline. She was the mom of the horrid class 1A. And probably still is. I snuck behind her and whispered to her, "Don't turn around, I'm here to help." She just nodded. I looked down at her wrists to see them tied with quirk-canceling cuffs. It looks like they're from the black market. Okay, your homeroom teacher is on the 4th floor with 2 other pros, underground hero Shigaraki and number 4 hero Hawks. She nodded again. I'm going to create a distraction and you're going to call them on this walkie-talkie. When I remove these cuffs, your quirk won't work for at least another hour. I miss talking to Momo even if I'm the only one talking. She was a great person even though she wasn't mentioned in the story before I went back in time. Okay, when you see the signal, call them. You'll know what the signal is when it happens. I say as I pick the locks to the cuffs. Again she nods. Good luck. Then I disappear into the shadows. It's been a few minutes and I still don't know the other 3 people's quirks, and I got bored, and that's never good. Ugh, you guys are so boring. All you do is talk about how strong you are. Boring. Who the he dash? The guys was cut off with a big boom, and a giant pile on rainbow glitter fell in them. That's better, y'all needed a makeover. I started to laugh my butt off while they were getting out of the glitter. They were completely covered. The hostages didn't get any glitter on them there in the far right corner, and I see Momo talking on the walkie. You brat, I'm going to kill you. Oh sweetie, you can't kill what's already dead, I said as I ran into the shadows. Come out now, you little sheet. I'm gay, I say from behind them. One guy tries to punch me, so I just move. I start to sink into the ground. Suddenly, I look up to see a guy with sandy hands. Oh, so that's your quirk. I thought it would be something about your appearance because ding, it's hard to look at you. When I get home I'm going to have to bleach my eyes. The teleportation guy walks up to me and takes out a knife. I'm all the way in the ground now, only my head is sticking out. Now let me tell you something, I had to let them catch me so the heroes wouldn't be suspicious. The glitter is enough to make them wonder. I wouldn't be surprised if the heroes did the same. The teleportation guy looked confused till a scarf wrapped around his torso and pulled him back. A father flew into the ground and pulled me out, and the fight officially started. While the pros were battling, I was getting the people out and taking notes of the villains' quirks and making sure they're not hurt. One guy came up to me suddenly. He was wearing glasses and a beanie. Here, have some blue, calm yourself. Thank you. You're welcome. Then he walked away. Momo was also helping evacuate everyone, and once everyone was gone she came up to me. Here's your walkie and thanks for the help. I was starting to panic. We should get out of here. That's a good idea and you're welcome. I always try to help people when needed, but I have to go now, bye. Goodbye. And I ran back to the mall. What did you think? Just because a small kidnapping/hostage situation happened I would stop playing my game? Hell no, we still have 3 more hours. Happy Father's Day. Izuku's POV. Guess what day it is? Father's Day. So I'm going to do something special for my father figure. Now he doesn't know he's my father figure and will probably never know. What am I talking about? Of course he'll find out. Someday. Now in the last timeline, Dadzawa? Oh, he's your father figure, what a surprise. No, it's really not. You all knew this, don't deny it. As I was saying, in the last timeline Dadzawa had 8 cats, but sadly all 8 of them died in this timeline because a villain set their house on fire. Well, Mike Aizawa and Shinsou were on a VK. Now I heard Aizawa wanted to bring the cats with but couldn't because the plane and hotel wouldn't allow cats. Now they could have picked a new plane and hotel, but Midnight said she'll just take care of them. But in the middle of the night, well, Midnight was across town on her patrol. A arson wearing a white headband burned their house to the ground, with the cats still inside. I hear he was some animal killer. Now this all happened on Father's Day 2 years ago when I was still this timeline me was still an a-hole. So I went to Aizawa's house and broke his door down while carrying a box. I know, so original. I walked into their house just as both of them rounded the corner ready for a fight. Turns out they were having a quiet and relaxing evening with Shinsou, who is now in his room. I wonder why they're so tense at the moment. Glitch, what the hell? Aizawa said, full of anger. Yeah, what's the deal, listener? You just broke our door, Mike said with a lot less anger. Well, I had to make an entrance somehow, I said, shrugging and putting the box down, opening it in their hall. I couldn't take care of them, so I brought them here. I opened the box and showed Eraser and Mike. I am a great liar, I could easily take care of them. It had 4 very unique kittens in the box. It had 4 very unique kittens in the box. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. Aizawa immediately stopped fuming and stared at the box of kittens. He slowly walked over to the box and stared, then started to pick them up. Mike was in the background squealing. Shinsou walked up behind Mike, and when he saw the cats he stopped in his tracks. Aizawa now had all the cats in his arms. Well, 1 was on his head, 1 was on his shoulder, and 2 were in his arms. And they were all looking at the kittens. I disappeared. I'm not a part of that family anymore, so I don't need to be with them during that moment. Aizawa's POV, bet you saw that coming? Glitch broke down our door, then left us a box of cats. When I looked up to talk to him, he was already gone. I haven't seen him since he hugged me. He started to avoid me, so why do I feel like he's doing this for a reason? We were going to go get some kittens today, but I guess we don't need to now. I wonder what we should name them. This was just a side chapter. But I will take name suggestions for the cats. Chapter 22. Izuku's POV. Sad the heroes weren't able to finish our fun little game. How boring. Let's go break into UA. Again. I was walking around in the UA halls. I hacked the cameras and put them on a loop so they wouldn't see me. You also may be wondering how I got through the gate. I stole Mike's ID. He's way easier to steal from than Eraser. Anyways, I was walking around and got bored, so I started looking in rooms. I came across these big medial doors. They look familiar. Well, everything in UA looks familiar. I was about to open the doors when they suddenly flew off their hinges with a big explosion. Oh yeah, the support course. Wait, oh, if the support course. I did a backflip before I could hit the wall. Then someone flew into me. Oh, I'm so sore. You're not supposed to be here, Mei Hatsumi. Sorry if I slept it wrong. What makes you say that? Oh, you're that vigilante that's been running around for years. Yeah, well, if I wasn't supposed to be here, how come I can walk in front of the cameras with ease? I walked back and forth in front of the cameras to try and get her to think I'm allowed to be here. But, do you want to see my babies? Sure. She then dragged me into the classroom. We spent a whole hour looking at and making new babies. We would have made more babies if Eraser didn't walk through the door. May, it's past Glitch? What are you doing here? Eraser, I watched as he wrapped me in his capture weapon. Wait, he's not supposed to be here. No. Yeah, I hacked the cameras. I got bored. Okay, not my fault, but I want to show you a new thing I've been trying to. No more rainbow glitter bombs, you're coming with me. Yeah, and when did I ever listen to you? Never. Now watch this, it will really PSS you off and hopefully not get me to black out. I started to glitch, and before Eraser could eraser my quirk, I teleported onto a roof. It takes a lot of energy out of me. I usually only do that when I get super stressed. So after a few seconds I blacked out. Damn it, I didn't teleport to my base. Thankfully my mask would only come off if I said certain few words. Something like fourth wall. Eraser's POV. After Glitch disappeared, I ran out the door and told all the staff to go out looking for him. I was running on the roofs when I saw 4 cloaked figures carry Glitch into a minivan. F-. I ran to the van and jumped on the roof of the car, but right as I landed I was bounced back into the air. Before I could get back to the van it was already gone. I ran around all night searching for the van, but I could never find it. I went into UA late the next day, which never happens. When I walked into the staff room, I was bombarded with questions. Everyone shut up, we have an emergency. Glitch was kidnapped last night after he overused his quirk. Some people wearing cloaks took him. Mike, you watch over my class, I'm going to go to Nizu. I was about to walk in his office when his door opened. I already heard. You were spying on us? No. You were spying on us. Yeah, I was. Anyways, let's go look for your vigilante. He's not mine, he didn't even like me, he just uses me for entertainment. Sure, I remember when I would play chess with him. Oh no, it's flashback time. Aizawa groaned in annoying. Flashback. Nevis POV. I was sitting on my roof watching the stars when suddenly a person walks up behind me. It's unusual to see you here, you're usually where there's more crime. Got bored, it's a slow night tonight. Really, well, would you like to play a game of chess? Sure, but you're not allowed to ask questions. We played a few rounds of chess, me of course whining all, but he did come close. Every time I bet if we played again he would win. But sadly he had to go and catch villains. I was excited to play another game with him. He would always talk about Eraser, he would always state facts and fanboy about him, saying he was his favorite hero. Aizawa wouldn't fanboy about Glitch, but he did worry whenever he would talk about him. It's like his dad's SWs was turned on just like whenever he talked about Shinsou. So I waited on the roof every night. I saw him a few times, but it was only when a villain was throwing him around or when a hero was chasing him. But every time he came by he would always wave to me. So I would wait on the roof hoping to play another game. And a flashback. That was an annoying flashback. You think everything is annoying, now let's go, those people have bad intentions. I heard Aizawa growl under his breath about his problem child being a trouble magnet. Chapter 23. Izuku's POV. Oh, I'm getting sacrificed, that's new. I've only ever been kidnapped for ransom or human trafficking, but I always beat them and called the cops. I was cuffed to a block of stone with quirk erasing cuffs. Hey, only erasers allowed to erase my quirk, you. Knockoff. What, how are we knockoffs? A more feminine voice spoke, sounding all confused. Well, other fanfics have something about sacrificing. I don't know what fanfics, but I know this isn't the first. They all just look confused till their leader comes in with a weird-looking dagger. He has seen into the other dimensions, he must be the chosen one. The leader said. What, no, I just like breaking the fourth wall, I haven't seen into anything. Who knew breaking the fourth wall would do this to me? Gather around, we shall start soon. Hey, if I'm going to die, could you at least tell me where I am? I can't exactly get out. Oh, you are at? Wow, she's really dumb. I shouldn't assume gender. What's your gender? I'm trying to talk to my readers and I'm getting confused. Oh, I'm a girl, pronouns are she/her. Okay, thanks. Back to what I was saying. Wow, she's really dumb. I am a paranoid person if you haven't guessed, so on my free time, which I have a lot of, I would use quirk suppressant on myself to try and get amenity to them. It didn't work, but it does take way more than what's in these cuffs to suppress my quirk, but my quirk is weakened. So I used all my strength and activated my quirk called Eraser. Eraser in it, hurry, they're going to sacrifice me. Someone put their hand over my mouth and added more suppressants to the cuffs. Now they started working. Damn it, he's stronger than we thought. The heroes are probable on their way, we have to start. They started to light candles around the room and shut off lights, then they started to use red paint, totally red, breathe totally, and draw symbols on the ground. They came over to try and take off my mask, but it wouldn't budge. Good luck with that, it will only come off if I take it off myself. They left my mask on and ripped my hoodie off. Hey, that took forever to make. They used the red paint and started to draw weird symbols on my chest and stomach. Who are you trying to summon anyways? I may seem calm, but I'm freaking out. They're about done, and I don't know where the heroes are. Well, I guess if I die here that will be fine, I have nothing else to do. We are sacrificing you to the blood god. He requires a strong, fearless, smart, and stubborn person, also someone who has fought for a long time. They were done painting the weird symbols on my chest and they all gathered in a circle. Some were holding candles and others weren't. Then they started chanting. If I'm going to die, then I'm going to break the fourth wall one more time. Time to tell you the cats' names. This is Pumpkin or Jack-o'-lantern, whichever you prefer. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. This is Pumpkin or Jack-o'-lantern, whichever you prefer. This is pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern, whichever you prefer. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. This is tiger lily or tiger. This is tiger lily or tiger. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. This is ginger. And this one's name is Tomate, also known as Tom, H.I. Tom. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. And this one's name is Tomate, also known as Tom, H.I. Tom. My thoughts were cut off, a knife piercing my skin. I hold back a scream. I look to saw them carving the symbols into my body. After they finally finish, my whole torso is covered in blood. They start to chant louder and the leader slowly starts to plunge a knife right where my heart is. Before he could finish, though, the door breaks down and the room turns into chaos. I blacked out after that and my last thought was, did I leave the stove on? Time skip. When I opened my eyes again, I noticed I was in a nurse's office. I heard a conversation, so I listens in. Couldn't get his mask off, there's some weird lock on it and I can't seem to get through. I even tried hacking it and my computer blew up. Oh, seems like someone was trying to take my mask off. I looked into the mirror next to my bed and saw that my hoodie was off and my chest and stomach was covered in bandages. I didn't feel like making a dramatic escape this time, but I also didn't want them questioning me, so I grabbed my hoodie that was sitting next to me and just crawled out the window and ran off into the alleyways. To think they would stop putting me in rooms with windows or vents or toothpicks or literally anything that can help me escape. I pulled out an old backpack from the dumpster and found an old black t-shirt. I put my bloody hoodie in the backpack and hacked the cameras so they would lose all footage of me and changed. I then started walking around town, having nothing better to do. Nightfall was coming, so I started heading back home. I miss school today. Whatever, school is useless anyways. As I was walking down the street, a white cloth wrapped around my torso. I started to struggle but gave up after about 10 seconds. I let Eraser pull me up onto the roof he was on. Eraser, if you're here to ask me questions, I'm not talking. You lost the hide and seek game, remember? Yes, I know, but this isn't related to those questions at all. Glitch. Chapter 24. Izuku's POV. Oh shit. I think he knows. Really, what made you think that? Well, he is currently holding me by his scarf in the air and called me by my vigilante name. You're right, I think he knows. What should we do? Play dumb. That's a great idea. Now stop talking to yourself, you look insane. Excuse me. I'm so thankful for that 2-hour-long acting lesson I didn't go to. I said this isn't related to those questions, Glitch. My name is Izuku, not Glitch. Well, you sure act a lot like him. Glitter bombs, snarky comments, able to escape pros. Shall I go on? I looked Eraser in the eyes and put on the best, what are you talking about, face I could. That's 'cause I train, it's something people do when they want to get better at something. Yes, I know, I'm 99.9999% sure you're Glitch. I of course don't have proof of this 'cause you or Glitch are pretty good at hiding. He looked at me. I remember in this timeline I was in butt to the heroes and acted more like a villain than a hero, so he probably doesn't trust me at all. I can assure you I'm not Glitch. Now please put me down or I'll puke. I'm not the best when it comes to heights. That's a complete lie. I love them. I love jumping across roofs. I love jumping off of them and scaring the heroes. Mostly Eraser. I love standing on the edge and watching the city, and I love watching the stars on them. One look at the Eraser's face told me he didn't believe me, so I'm going to do something I'm going to deeply regret. I forced myself to pale, then I threw everything in my stomach up. It fell and went splat on the pavement below us, some of it hitting the building and some leaking onto the streets. Thank God no one was around, 'cause this is not a pretty sight to see. Eraser quickly put me down after that, then jumped beside me. Okay, that was interesting. I still suspect you're Glitch, though you're at the top of my list. I was exhausted at this point, so I just nodded, not having the energy to make any snarky remarks. I'm going home now. I turned and walk off. I'm going to glitter bomb him so much tonight. Later that night, I had my backpack full of glitter bombs while I jumped across the roofs searching for Eraser. I haven't found him yet. It's weird, I would have usually found him by now. I got down from the roof and started running along the streets. As I was running, I felt something small collide with my leg. I slid to a stop and looked back to see what it was. It was a little girl with gray hair and red eyes. She also had bandages covering her arms, and she wore an old white dress. I walked back over to her and slowly kneeled in front of her. She wrapped her arms around my neck and I could feel her shaking. "Please don't let him take me. Please." "Who dash?" I heard footsteps in the alley and I could feel the little girl tense. "I'm so sorry about my daughter. Wait a minute, aren't you Glitch?" "Overhaul." "Well, you probably already know who I am then, so there's no point in acting." I pushed the little girl behind me to block her from Overhaul. "If you could just return Eri to me, I might just not kill you." "Yeah, I'm going to have to say no." "I wasn't asking." He pulled his glove off and I quickly grabbed the girl now known as Eri and jumped out of the way just in time before Spikes could impale us. I grabbed a glitter bomb out of my backpack and threw it at him. He blocked it, but that just sent it into the air. The glitter bomb exploded, sending neon green glitter everywhere. That should get some pros' attention. Overhaul came running at us again. I created a flat surface and started to run up them into the air. The best thing to do in this situation is to keep Overhaul away from Eri. We started to play a game of cat and mouse. He didn't want to let Eri free, then I'll have to force him to. I started to run into the detection of UA. The lights were on for some reason. Maybe there was a meeting. My thoughts were cut off by a pain shooting through my leg, but I didn't look to see what happened. I just kept running. Pain then suddenly shot through my lower back and my left arm, but I refused to stop. I had to push through it for Eri. "Give her back, Eri. You're a monster. You're the reason your father's dead, and you're going to do it again." Emotional manipulation. Really? What's with this guy Eris, like 3-4? "Please just let me go. He's going to kill you." "I'm a monster. I don't deserve freedom." "Don't talk like that, Eri. You aren't a monster. You are a appealing girl. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to save you. I'm going to be your hero." She didn't say anything. I was getting closer to UA, but right as I was 1 block away, Overhaul sent a joint spike our way. I block it with a green barrier. The spike broke through it with so much force it sent me and Eri flying into the UA windows. Before we could make contact, I blocked Eri so only I would get hurt. Everything was so blurry after that. A bunch of people was screaming. I think I can't hear them, and a blurry Eri standing beside me. Suddenly her horn. She had a horn that's cute. Why it was glowing? Why am I not in pain anymore? I suddenly felt my senses came back to me. I could hear the heroes yelling and fighting well. Overhaul was desperately fighting to get to Eri. She didn't seem to be in control of her quirk and it started to get out of control. Chapter 25. Izuku's POV. Eri was crying desperately trying to get her quirk to stop, Overhaul yelling at her and insulting her in the background. I reach out to try to calm her down, but pain shot through me and I quickly let go. I was confused, so I pulled up my screen and started to hack into Overhaul's database. Page 6. Date of birth: December 21st. Gender: female. Height: 110 centimeters, 3 foot 7 1/4 inch. Hair color: pale blue-gray. Quirk: a time quirk. If I hack my body, I can make myself immune to her quirk. What will it do to my body? I don't care. What am I thinking? I hack into my body and started coding myself to be immune to her quirk. It sounds painful and it is. I quickly pull her into a hug. "No, you'll get hurt. I'm a monster." "No, Eri, you are not a monster. Overhaul is a monster. You didn't do anything wrong." "But I hurt people." She's now sobbing into my chest, clinging on for dear life. "You never meant to hurt anyone. It's not your fault." Her sobbing and hiccups slowed down after a bit till it was only sniffles. I looked down and saw her fast asleep. I looked up. Overhaul was nowhere to be seen. Eraser started to walk up to me. I had on glitter bomb left, luckily in neon pink. He was 5 feet away when I threw the glitter bomb at him. "This is the 3rd suit you ruined, Glitch. You know how hard it is to burn my hero suit." He kept rambling on about how he's going to have to burn his hero suit, but his voice was slowly fading. An irritating ringing filled my ears and my vision started to blur. Suddenly a hot pain shot through my body. It is one of the worst things I've ever felt. Black dots started to fill my vision and I let the darkness consume me. Eraser's POV. "This is the 3rd suit you ruined, Glitch. You know how hard it is to burn my hero suit. It has all these materials in it that dash." I was cut off when I looked up and saw Glitch in front of me unconscious. I rushed over to him and finally noticed the little girl in his arms. How did I not notice her before? I picked up Glitch, held him in one arm and held the little girl in the other. Mike came running over. He was covered in bruises and blood and we're pretty sure he has a broken arm. Mike, you take the little girl to Recovery Girl. Don't carry her with that arm. It'll take Glitch. It looks like both of them have a high fever. He answered with a, got it, and we both ran out of the room. Oh, so Glitch is still here and you're covered in glitter again. I look up and see Niza sitting on my shoulder. His fur is all ruffled and dirty, but other than that he seems fine. When did he get on my shoulder? Yeah, he threw another glitter bomb at me before he passed out. Yes, that does seem like Glitch. I didn't say anything in return. We reached Recovery Girl's office in 2 minutes. When we entered the room we saw Recovery Girl taking care of the little girl in a separate room with one bed. I put Glitch on an open bed and waited for Recovery Girl to come back. The door to the separate room opened and Recovery Girl walked out. It seems the little girl lost control of her quirk. She was able to gain control again, but she has a high fever. I put her in a separate room just in case she lost control again. Oh great, Glitch is back again. That boy has to be more careful or he could get himself killed one day. Recovery Girl kept rambling to herself while she checked him over. Eraser dear, could you please flip him over? Be gentle. I walked over and carefully flipped him onto his stomach. His back legs and arm were covered in blood. I moved out of the way so Recovery Girl could get to work. She ripped off the right breathe leg and I saw a big stone spike in his leg. She did the same thing with his lower back and left arm. I'm going to need to do surgery, but he has a very high fever and I don't have all the equipment. We're going to have to transfer him to a hospital. He's losing blood at a rapid rate. It's a surprise he's even alive. She thought for a minute, then looked at me. Eraser, drive him to the hospital. I have to stay here and watch the little girl. I nodded without hesitation and carefully picked him up, running out of the room. When I got to the car I put him in the front seat, not caring I'm getting blood on everything. I started to speed down the road, stopping whenever there was a red light or a stop sign. I was driving way over the speed limit when sirens started going off behind me. I pulled over and rolled down my window. The cop came up to my window and before he could speak I interrupted him. Pro hero Eraser head, the kid here is bleeding out and has a high fever. I need to get him to the hospital immediately. I showed him my license. He nodded and said he would isser me. We drove down the road and made it to the hospital in record time. I brought Glitch into the hospital and they took him immediately. They wouldn't allow me to go in with him, so I was sitting in the waiting room. Time skip. I've been sitting in the waiting room for 6 hours. At one point Mike and Hitoshi came in. Hiroshi said he had nothing better to do, so he came with. A nurse walked into the waiting room and announced my name. Eraserhead. Chapter 26. Aizawa's POV. Eraserhead. I stand up right away and walk up to the nurse. That's me. His fever is still really high, but he is in stable condition. His surgery went well for the most part, but we might have to take his leg. My whole body froze when I heard that. They might have to take his leg? What? No, is there a way you can avoid that? Yes, but what? We don't have the right equipment here. We ran out of the medicine a few months ago. If you don't want us to take his leg, we're going to have to send him to America. Take the leg or send him to America. We'll have to ask the boy first, though he doesn't seem to have any living relatives, so the choice is completely up to him. I nodded, still too shocked to say anything. We weren't able to get his mask off, but we ran a blood test by Niza's orders. She handed me a sheet of paper with a picture of a small boy around 2 or 3 on it. Name, Izuku Midoriya. Quirkless. Birth date, July 15, 20XX. Death date, March 26, 20XX. Cause of death, house fire. He supposedly died in a house fire when he was 4? Diamen, he was a small 4-year-old. A 4-year-old was living on the streets? He should be 15 by now. The nurse said. So I guess I was right about his identity. Is that why he was so rude before? But why did he become a prankster and somewhat nice? Did he actually lose his memory? Am I going to get another kid? R09 at 9 yen. Questions ran through my head. It felt like hundreds of elephants stomp on me with this bone-crushing news. A 4-year-old was living on the streets for 11-ish years. By himself? Can we see him? Yes, but he won't be waking up for a long time. We think he might be in a coma. If you didn't get him to the hospital just now, he would have died. I nodded. He's in room 301 third floor. Thank you. I slowly walked over to the elevator with Mike and Hitoshi trailing behind. Both looked very stressed. Hiroshi never met Glitch before, but he still gets worried, especially when I am. We waited on the elevator in tense silence. When the doors opened, we walked out and down the halls. We got out on the wrong floor. We were in front of his room now. I slowly opened the door and looked inside. There laying on the bed was Glitch. He was covered in bandages and was a sickly pale. He looked peaceful. You would think he was dead. The only thing keeping me back from trying to do CPR was the rise and fall of his chest. He still had his mask on, but they were somehow able to remove his visors at UA. His vigilante costume was replaced with a hospital gown, letting us see his fluffy green hair. They couldn't find a way to get his mask off, so they put a respirator mask over it. I walk over and sit in the chair next to his bed. Mike pulls up 2 more for him and Hitoshi. Wait, Izuku. Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you, Hitoshi. I didn't say anything, just listened to Mike and Hitoshi's conversation. Izuku's POV. I'm confused. Why am I sitting in the middle of a black void? Well, more like floating. I'm just floating around minding my business till this rude white light started to shine in front of me. JRK. A figure started to walk out of the light and approached me. An appealing woman stood in front of me. With chocolate brown hair and star-filled eyes, she was wearing a white dress and a little stopwatch hanging from her hip. What's up, dude? Hello, Izuku, I am Time. Cool, and I'm Glitch. She smiles at me warmly. I see you have made some changes in your timeline. Did you notice just now I've been here for almost half a year? Yes, well, I was quite busy with another universe. You humans seem to like messing with time a lot. Oh, what other universe do I even exist there? No, that universe doesn't have any of you there. Oh, that's cool. Now what's up? I feel like I've been floating here for hours and I need to pee. You're a spirit at the moment, you don't have a body. I know, I was trying to find an excuse to get back to my body. She just laughed at that. Yes, well, I should get on with it. Then you have already been asleep for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, man. I didn't get to watch the sports festival. Yes, well, I'm going to have to send you back to your original timeline. What? No, I can't go back. What will happen to this timeline? What will happen to Dabi and Shigaraki? I still haven't found out what happened to Toga and Twice. This timeline will be destroyed and put back to the way it was before. Everything will be like it was before you were sent to the past. No, that can't happen. That timeline needed to be changed. If it wasn't, then the world would have been destroyed. This timeline is so much better for everyone now than it was before. If I go back, all my hard work will be destroyed. I can't let all these people get hurt because of some time sheet. No, that is not happening. She looked a little shocked when I said that. I don't care if I F'd with time and change the future. I'm not going to let that happen in this timeline. I'm sorry, Izuku, you don't get a choice. Listen, lady, if I have to, I will keep going back to the past and changing the future till you give up. I'm not going to let the world get destroyed. You do dash. I'm a vigilante. My job is to protect civilians, and if that means going back in time 1,000 times, then I will, and I won't stop till I get what I want. She looked deep in thought for a bit, then she looked me in the eyes. Well then, Izuku, let's make a deal, or I'll have to send you back to your old timeline. I nodded, my mind filling with determination. Chapter 27. Eraserhead's POV. I was sitting next to Glitch. He started to move around in his sleep and was mumbling. He then stopped. He looked kinda mad. His hair suddenly started glowing and then it stopped like it never happened. Then his eyes snap open. You're finally awake. It seems like your fever also went down, so that's good. He slowly turned his head towards me. I take it you know who I am now. Yeah, the doctors ran some blood tests. You were on your own at such a young age. Oh, I forgot to delete the file. Well, sheet. He reached up to his face and said, "Fourth wall," and the mask made a quiet click. He told the mask off and looked at me. Hello, Eraserhead. I was shocked. His right eye was now dark purple with little white dots in it. They looked like stars. What happened to your eye? Nothing happened to my eye. It was always like this. There is such thing as color contacts. Izuku's POV. What happened to your eye? Yes, my eye. This is where my amazing lying skills come in. Nothing happened to my eye. It was always like this. There is such thing as color contacts. He gave me an okay, then got up to get the nurse. Flashback. I stared at the goddess of time, refusing to back. Fine then, let's make a deal. I'll give you 2 months to change this timeline. In these 2 months the color in your right eye will start to fade. Once it's fully white you will disappear. Disappear, but where will I go? You can still back out of this deal if you want. No, I'll do it. The goddess held out her hand. Once my hand to hers, everything around me started to fade and I woke up in the hospital room. And a flashback. Wait, Izuku, what are you doing here? My head snapped to where Hitoshi is sitting. Mike looked like he just started to wake up. Oh hi Hitoshi, yeah, I'm Glitch. He just stared at me with a black face. What the F? Do you mean you're Glitch? What do you do this to everyone? Just wake up in a hospital bed after having a high butt fever with a giant hole in your arm and leg dash. Oh, I forgot about that. And say, oh hey, what's up FY? I'm Glitch by the way dash. I don't sound like that. The Vigilant that everyone knows about. And what's up with your eye? Nothing, I just wore eye contact. The nurse came in and started to check on my vitals and sheet. After half an hour he said we could leave the hospital. Well, thank you for that, but I have some stuff to do. See you later. And there it is, Eraser's scarf wrapped around my torso, and he dragged me to their car. So are we going to UA? Pep. I'm not allowed to leave then. Pep. Can I jump out of the car? Nope. Dash. He pulled up to UA and parked in the UA garage. Aizawa dragged me out of the car and to Nisa's office. He opened the door, not even knocking. Hello Eraser, Hitoshi, Mike, and Izuku. I'm pretty sure you already know what happened in the hospital room. Eraser said, putting me in a chair. Yep, I heard everything Izuku. I'm going to enroll you in UA. Wow, just like the last timeline. Fine. Wait, you're fine with this? Eraser said. If I don't agree I'm going to jail, even though I could probably break out. The last part was mumbled so none of them heard it. Well, Nizu probably did, but that doesn't matter. You'll be staying with Eraser. You seem to know him and he's a hero, so this will work perfectly. Yeah, okay, let's go. Problem child, school starts Monday. School starts Monday. Me, problem child, me. I said, walking out of the room mocking Eraser. He slapped me on the head. Ha! Problem child. He grumbles out again. When we got back to his house he dragged me to their guest bedroom. This is your room now, got it? You can do whatever you want to it. We will go shopping for you Sunday, so tomorrow I guess no patrolling. But Eraser, I have so many glitter bombs left and I don't sleep at night. Well, you're going to have to learn to. Good luck, I'm still trying to teach myself. It's not possible for me to sleep. Actually, I have my body to make sure I only have to sleep once a month and I already slept this month. When I did hack my body into not letting me sleep, I slept for 29 days straight. I don't know how I didn't die from starvation, but I woke up 29 days later. I went on YouTube and caught myself up to see what I missed. Turns out there was some guy crashed in a park. He had black wings. He was out cold. The news said a child and a brown-haired guy punched a cop that was trying to apprehend him for illegal quirk use. The brown-haired guy and child that kept screaming Pog ran with the guy into a getaway car. You wouldn't believe who was driving through. It was the guy who kept screaming about hating orphans, the same guy who threw me into an orphanage. Oh God, I want a picture with them so bad. Before Eraserhead walked out the door I stopped him. Hey, did you guys ever get the people from the park incident? No, they're nowhere to be found. Oh, I'm going to get a picture with them one day. Why do you have to go and find people like that to admire? Because they're awesome. We need more people like that in the world. No, we really don't. Sure, Eraser, good night. Good night, Izuku. He walked out of my room with a wave and a small smile. A few minutes later, Hitoshi walked into my room with a deck of cards. Heard you can't sleep, wanna play? Hell yeah, I do. He grins and we both sat down on my bed, staying up for hours playing. I'll make the most of these last 2 months. Chapter 28. Izuku's POV. The first thing I did when I woke up was run into the living room. Then I ran into the couch and tumbled over it. Who puts a couch in the middle of the living room? You wouldn't have run into it if you walked and looked where you were going. Yes, Aizawa, he sounds lively this morning. Aizawa, I think you need to get a soul. What? He went back to sipping his coffee, giving up on me just like my parents. I rolled off the floor and popped up next to Aizawa. So, Dadzawa, what are we doing today? This is my last day before you drag me to hell, so I want to do something fun. We have to go shopping. Ah, but Zoa, that's boring. I flopped on the floor and let out a loud groan. Mike, he's trying to take me shopping. The front door was kicked down and Midnight stepped in. Did somebody say shopping? Nice walked down the stairs and dragged Hitoshi with him. Wait, we're going shopping. Shopping with Midnight, I'm down. Hitoshi said, walking on his own now. No, Izuku and I are going shopping. You guys are staying here and you're not going to destroy the place while we're gone. Ha, Aizawa sweetie, you have to lighten up. How about you sleep? We will take Izuku shopping. Actually, Aizawa, shopping with you only sounds like a great idea. I'm suddenly picked up off the ground and being dragged out the door. Don't worry, Aizawa, we'll be back before 6. The door shuts and I'm being thrown into the back of a car. Wait, I thought Mike and Hitoshi were coming with at least. Nope, it's just you and me today, Izuku. I try to open the door but it was locked. I French on the door while Midnight starts cackling. A few minutes later we pull up into the biggest mall in the city. Why did you bring me to the biggest goddamn mall in the city? It has the best clothes options. I'm only getting clothes I approve of. Sad. We walked around the mall for 2 hours before we bumped into Dobby. Dobby, long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while. Was a racer able to catch you? Nope, someone as amazing as me could never get caught like that. Yeah. Midnight and Dobby talked for a bit. I grabbed one of my pink glitter bombs and gave it to him in a box. Midnight was a little confused but brushed it off. But if you knew me then you should know never to brush something like that off. They finished talking and we went our separate ways. I had a bomb and started running. I'll meet you at the food court, Midnight, huh? I ran around sliding under tables and flipping over people. At one point I ran into a blonde kid. This isn't just any blonde-haired kid though, it's the blonde-haired kid. Oh, you beach, you have to watch where you're going. Hey, weren't you with that brown-haired guy that took the guy with black wings and ran from the police, and your getaway drive was the punk-haired guy? No. He phrased it like a question and started fidgeting. That pink-haired guy threw me through an orphanage. He looked like he was holding back a laugh now. If you know him, who he is, ID like a picture with him. Wait, really? Yes, we need more people like him. And if I get a picture with him, I can PSS someone off. Why do you want to PSS that person off? I mean, I'm all for chaos, but I'm curious. Well, you see, I'm a Vigilante that was caught recently after a really big battle that left me almost dead, and I told the guy who is now watching me that I would like a picture with Pinky. He didn't seem pleased that I admire him. Ha, I got you covered, follow me. I followed the obnoxious and loud child through the mall. We got to the more empty area. He led me to the 3 other guys on TV. Who's the green bean? The pink-haired dude asked. Hey, it's Broccoli to you. Okay, why are you here? I brought him here 'cause he wants a picture with you. The pink dude looked very confused. The black-winged adult and brunette were holding back a laugh. Why? 'Cause I know who to admire and who not to, and after you threw me through a building I just knew I needed to take a picture with you. You threw a child through a building. The black-winged man said. The brown was on the ground by now, dying of laughter, the blonde child soon following behind. Okay, come here. I took a quick pic with him and left before Dobby or Midnight could find me. I met up with Midnight as promised and we went back to shopping. No. Why not? That's a good DMN CRP top, Midnight. Yeah, you would look cute in it. No, I'll stick with oversized hoodies, thank you very much. Fine. We got some hoodies, shirts, briefs, and all the other stuff I needed. I even found an Eraserhead, Shigaraki, and Dobby hoodie. After we were done we went and got my photo printed. Isn't that the guy the police are looking for? No. Oh, look at the time we have to get back. Oh shit, and there is school tomorrow. Midnight grabbed my hand and ran out to her car. She pushed me in the back seat and we drove into the sunset. Ha, CK people started running out of the mall screaming. Should we do something about that? Yes. Midnight slowly drove off, ignoring all of the people who were screaming. Wait, why aren't you helping? I'm sadly not allowed to at the moment. Why? My hero license was taken away for the next 2 weeks. Well, why? I don't want to talk about it. He drove in silence till we got back to Aizawa's. We went into the house. I dropped the stuff on the ground in my room and went searching for Aizawa. When I found him I sat down with a huff. Long day. Yeah. Why did Midnight get her hero license taken away temporarily? Midnight. I heard running, then a door slammed shut. A car turned on and you could hear a screech of tires. I swear she doesn't have a single brain cell. Yeah. Hey, look at this pic. He hummed and looked at my phone screen. Are you kidding me? Why can't you worship heroes like normal kids? Instead you go and hunt down a FING wanted criminal and you couldn't even get a picture with his mask off. You're a vigilant. Shouldn't you take people like him to jail? I'm off duty and I respect you. If I didn't I would have probably stabbed you by now. I just let out a very, very long sigh and closed his eyes. Food is in the fridge. Go eat something then hang out with Hitoshi or Mike. I'm going to find you a therapist or brain doctor. What, why? 'Cause there seems to be something wrong with your head. I shrugged and went to eat. After that I grabbed Mike and went to Hitoshi's room. Chapter 29. Izuku's POV. It was the first day of school for me. In my last timeline, I already went to school and learned everyone's names, quirks, and weaknesses. I walked through the gate in only 4 steps and I'm stopped by Aoyama. Excusez-moi, monsieur. Yes. You my friend keep breaking le quatrième mur. What? Le fourth wall. Oh yeah, well I guess now that you're here I should stop. Way it is my job. Okay, I get it, sorry. After that, we had a nice introduction and went our separate ways. I walked down the halls and to class 1A. I don't know why we didn't go the same way, he just walked into a random detection. I opened the door to the class, everyone looked my way. Somehow Aoyama got here before me and was staring at a wall for some reason. I walked in and went to my seat that was behind Bakugo, no surprise there. He saw my face and glared at me. What the F, are you looking at, broccoli boy? Nothing. I sat down a little shocked. He doesn't know who I am. Oh, this is awesome. I wonder how he will treat me now compared to the last timeline. Maybe he's not such a beach now. Aizawa walked in and did his little introduction like last time. We went to the field and did all that sports sheet. I made sure to get in 3rd place. I didn't want Bakugo coming after me, so I made myself look weaker. I can't beat a pro, not even Aizawa. I'm just really good with tricks to throw them off course. I can fight and I am good at it, but tricks are my go-to always. I need help with my quirk. I can pull up screens and hack stuff, but I can also teleport even though I black out and I can't really control where I go that well. I wonder what else I can do with my quirk. What if I can pull up walls? Can I teleport others? Could I make an army of people dash? Shut up, Mumbles, you're so annoying. Oops, sorry, I haven't done that in a while. We go inside and get our syllabuses. The grape-looking dude was still crying. I don't even know why he's crying. He wasn't kicked out. The rest of the day was pretty normal, just like my last timeline's first day. I sat with Shinsou during lunch. He is quiet and I don't normally get that. The lunch was peaceful, then an alarm went off. What the F? That shouldn't be happening. Who's breaking in? This is supposed to happen on the 2nd day of school. Or was it 3rd? Everyone started crowding the halls, pushing past others. I grabbed Shinsou and pushed him under the table. Shouldn't we be following the others? No, we'll just be trampled. Let's wait here till people are gone. Slowly the crowd started to disappear. Okay, now that they're gone we can go dash. There was an explosion. The wall leading into the cafeteria crumbled to the ground. I told you it would be easy, dash. This was the hardest thing in the world. I looked at Shinsou in shock. This was what Toga and Twice were in this timeline, really? I was hoping to see a hero Toga twice. What do we do? Shinsou whispered. Then if Aizawa didn't take my glitter bombs away I could distract them. Didn't you, Aizawa, and your good parenting skills? Wow, that sentence was dripping with sarcasm. He was about to say something when we were both grabbed by the collar and pulled out from under the table. Look what we have here, dash. What are you doing here? Oh people, Stain, look what we found. Stain, wait, what? Oh, you guys found some baby heroes. Baby heroes? I'll have you know, sir, I'm only here because I want to be. Well, why would you be here if you didn't want to be? I don't know, you tell me, boss man. Aren't you supposed to be scared? The scariest thing I ever saw was my mom when she's mad at me. She's dead now, but if she was here you would be quivering in fear. Shouldn't we be like fighting them? I looked over at Shinsou. He was being held in place by 2 Twice. Guess he got over his trauma. He's got a point. Stain said. His hand held a knife and his posture moved a bit to the left. And I completely agree. I say. He lunges at me. I punched the clones that were holding me and flipped behind them, then kicked them into Stain. I was about to help Shinsou, but the clones were already fighting themselves. He still has to fight some of, but he's doing good. Wow, good job. Thanks. More clones started to appear. This time Toga was added to the mix. Stain stayed in the background watching. Guess this is a good time to train my quirk. Wait, what? Shinsou's head whipped in my detection. I may use my power more than normal teenagers, but I still have a lot of things to train. Togas came after me, all pulling out knives. I held my arms up, creating a green see-through wall. They crashed into it. I took the wall down and made a green pole in my hand. I'd say they're great weapons, super fun too. I can't believe this is actually working. I took down a few of them, but my vision was starting to get blurry and it was hard to keep them open. My body started to cramp up. I was nearing my limit. I know I have to train my quirk more. I only used it to hack into sheet. Is this what it feels like to be out of shape? I flipped over a toga, grabbing her hair and throwing her into some twice. Someone's body slammed into mine, knocking me back into a wall. I heard a crack. I don't know if it was from me or the wall though. I looked up, saw Shinsou bloody and beaten. He was hardly standing. I was grabbed by the through this time. You should pay attention to your surroundings, little hero. Where are the heroes? They should have been here by now. The attack wasn't like this in the last timeline. You're going to wish you followed the other cowards to the escape exit. Now you and your little friend are going to die. I looked over to see Shinsou on the ground, barely keeping a blade away from his neck. He looked back. We made eye contact. Something in me snapped. I started to glitch uncontrollably and my eyes started to bleed, but I was teleporting or hurting anyone. I heard a high-pitched ringing in my ears. Twice now held Shinsou's arms down. Toga brought the blade over her head and brought it down to Shinsou. I screamed for them to stop thrashing around, kicked, scratched, did anything. Right before the knife was plunged into his throat, blue and orange fire busted through the wall. Endeavor and Dobby ran into the room. Dobby kicked the toga to the ground and started fighting the clones. Endeavor picked Shinsou up very carefully. My eyes went back to Stain. His hand around my throat started to tighten. My air was cut off. I kicked him in the ribs, clawed at his hand, did anything to get air, but he didn't budge. My vision started to get blurry. Black spots started to cloud my vision. Suddenly I tumbled to the ground, then picked up again. Dobby, I'm taking these students to Recovery Girl. Can you handle them? I will call for backup if you can't. I'm fine. Make sure the kids are safe. Okay, good luck. I slowly turned my head to see Shinsou. He was already passed out. Kid, try to stay awake, please. He ran down the halls of UA. I looked in the teacher's lounge to see puddles of mud and the heroes fighting twice that keep coming. They are easily taking them out, but it's hard to go to the other parts of the school with how fast they're coming in. I made eye contact with Eraser. His eyes widened slightly. He tried to get to us but failed as more twice started coming after him. The black spots covered my vision and I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. I let the darkness consume me as I fell into a painless sleep. Aizawa's POV. It was lunchtime now. The students went to eat and the teachers went to the lounge area. We were talking about plans for what we should do in the future with the first years this time. We change what we do with them every year. Well, the USJ and the camping trip stay the same. All Might will be helping teach heroics this year for some stupid reason, but he won't be coming till tomorrow. We kept up with the casual talk. Well, Mike didn't let me sleep, saying some shit like, it's been a while since we talked to anyone, even though they came to dinner 2 weeks ago. The school alarm went off and 3 people crashed through the window. One guy started to multiply himself, then they ran out of the room. I tried to follow, but the clones just kept piling in. We fought for about 10 minutes before we called for backup. If we can't make it out of this room and the 3 real villains could hurt the students or Eri, Endeavor and Dobby were sent to help us. We stayed in the room and took down the clones. No matter how many times we kill them, more just multiply. I heard footsteps, so I looked out the door. I saw Endeavor carrying my kids. They're beaten up and bloody. Shinsou was knocked out and Izuku could hardly keep his eyes open. I tried to run to them, but the clones kept coming. I was enraged, so I erased their quirks faster, beat them to a pulp, threw them out the windows, smashed their heads into the walls, and finally made it out of the room, leaving the other heroes to deal with the other clones. I ran down the halls as fast as I could. I opened the door to the nurse's office to see Recovery Girl wrapping Izuku's neck up. Shinsou's arms were covered in them along with his head and abdomen. Izuku's abdomen, neck, arms, and head were covered in them. Endeavor was already gone, probably to help Dobby. What happened to them? Recovery Girl shook her head and sighed. Shinsou was stabbed in the arms, 3 times in the left and 2 times in the right. He also had a knife in his gut and a concussion. Izuku has a cracked skull, stab wounds in arms like Shinsou. Abdomen had a gash on it. and his neck was swollen. I had to heal his head immediately. His neck just needs some ice. Shinsou's stab wound was so bad I also had to heal it right away. I couldn't heal them all the way because neither of them gets enough sleep. I pulled a chair in between their beds and sat down. I looked over and saw each of them had a blood bag. You know, even when they're close to death they joke around. I asked Izuku for his blood type and he said red. They chuckled, then passed out. They both passed and woke up multiple times. I couldn't help but chuckle at their stupidity. Yes, I'm still going to give them one hell of a lecture after they wake up, then give them lots of sleeping pills, but I still had to laugh. So they're good. Yes, you can take them home tonight. Make sure they sleep and bring them in tomorrow. I'll heal them all the way then. Thanks. How is Eri? She is fine, sleeping peacefully in the bed next to them. Just pull back the curtain. She was scared when the alarm rang but fall asleep after nothing came. I'll take her with me tonight too if that's fine. Are you sure you already have Shinsou and Izuku? I'm sure. I am the only one that can stop her quirk. That okay, then get some sleep. God knows you need it. I nodded. I asked Recovery Girl to lock the doors. I checked on Eri, then sat back down falling asleep. Chapter 30. Izuku's POV. This is so fun having to wear bandages. It's one of the best things to do. I just love getting injured. Izuku, where did you get that glitter bomb, and why are you putting it in your school backpack? Aizawa asked while rubbing his temple in annoyance. Well, last time I didn't have one. I got stabbed. I yelled, throwing my hands in the air to reveal the bandages. Listen, I'm sorry that happened, but you can't bring those to school. Aizawa got up, walking over to me. Show you to Aizawa, if you touch my bombs you will never sleep again, I said, starting him in the eyes with a blank face. He nods, then goes upstairs, probably to walk up Shinsou and Eri. I finish packing in my backpack, hiding it, then bedding to the bathroom to clean my wounds. I look in the mirror and notice my eye has slightly faded. Some of the white dots have also disappeared. I sigh and move on with my day. We get to school and head to Recovery Girl's office. I don't know what's with guys and getting injured, especially you, Izuku. She keeps lecturing us, only stopping to give Eri a sucker. This went on till the bell rang and we had to go to our separate classes. I walked down the halls and to my class, ignoring everyone, heading over to M desk and putting my head. I laid there for a couple of seconds till someone smacked me on the head. No sleeping in class, Midoriya. Aizawa says, hiding a smile behind his scarf. I mutter demon under my breath and watch the board while he explains some fighting techniques. My eyes start to blur and sting, but I ignore it and keep watching class. After a few minutes my eye stops burning and I keep listening like nothing happened. That happened till lunch roll around. I went to meet with Shinsou, talk to the old Deku squad, being Eri some lunch, then finally me and Shinsou go to the roof to eat. It's way quieter up here. We should have eaten here since day one, I say, smiling at Shinsou, then starting munching down on my food. Yeah, hey, your purple eye, what's wrong with it? Shinsou asks carefully, like I'm some wild cat about to run away. What are you talking about? I put a hand over my eye in confusion, like it's going to do anything. Shinsou gives me a confused star once again. The white dots are gone and the eye is better dull. If you look close enough someone might think you're blind. Wait, what? I take it my phone do see the purple is lighter. I stare at it a little longer. Sheet, I thought I had more time. Izuku, what are you talking about? Every day I see your eye change. Do you have another quirk of something? I start stuttering, trying to make up an excuse. I'm usually better at lying than this, but I never liked to lie to the people I was close with. After a while Shinsou puts a hand over my mouth, stopping me from spewing more nonsense. It's fine if you don't want to tell me. I trust you. Thank you, I would love to tell you, but it's not time yet. Okay, Izuku, I'll wait. After lunch, we go back to class. I know my time is almost up. I have a few days left at the very most. I spend the last bit of time I have with my friends and new family. I'm finally happy. I may not be able to control my quirk to the full extent, but I'm still happy I can spend time with everyone. Chapter 31. Izuku's POV. The fire was everywhere. Everyone was screaming. I couldn't move. What happened? Where did it all go wrong? A few hours earlier, we driving walking to school. Aizawa was with Eri getting a checkup, so Mike was driving me and Shinsou to school. Nothing bad has happened, so that's nice. The dots are now gone out of my eyes, so it's only a matter of time before I go. Hey Shinsou, can I talk to you at lunch today? I ask him with a nice smile. I'm pretty sure he knows what I'm going to talk to him about. Oh yeah, on the roof? I nod and smile at him. I turn and look back out the window. When I got to school I started to have a bad feeling. I acted like everything was normal but checked everything I could. The pit in my atomic only grew the closer lunch came. I couldn't find anything wrong, and when I checked the school with my quirk I couldn't find anything wrong. I walked with Shinsou to the roof in silence. When we got there I didn't say anything. Is this about your eye? Yes, I'm going to die soon, at least I think I am. I'm not from this timeline, I changed it when I was sent back in time. But some god didn't like that. She tried to put me back but I told her that I would never give up because everyone deserves a happy ending. So she gave me a time limit and my limit is almost up. I finished my little speech with a sad smile. When I looked at him he was crying. Why you can't die? You can go. Why, you're my best friend, my B-brother. What do our dads think of this? He was trying to keep his composure. Tears slowly fell from my eyes. I didn't look him in the eyes. I didn't tell them. I left a flash drive on my bed under my pillow, plug it into the TV. I was bawling now. I wish I could SOI, but some H-heroes just don't get their happy ending. You felt arms around me. I cling to him, scared that if I let go he will disappear. Shinsou was about to say something but the roof caved with a big boom and everything went black. When I woke up there was fire everywhere. I couldn't see anything through all the smoke but I heard signs and screaming. I tried to get up but I was stuck under a rock. When I tried to move it I screamed in pain. Tears trickled down my ash-covered face. I look around and find Shinsou a few feet away. Shinsou, you have to wake up. Shinsou, please. I scream as loud as my lungs let me, but he didn't move. I try to move my leg only to scream out in pain again. I look around but all I could see was ash, fire, and rubble. I sit up, ignore the pain to the best of my ability. I couldn't get out unless I teleport, but if I do that I could pass out. But Shinsou was losing blood at an alarming rate and the heroes haven't found us yet. I gathered all the strength I had and teleported to Shinsou's side. I collapse, my head is pounding and black spots are covering my vision. I look at my leg and see the bone protruding out of it. I threw up, ignoring the blood leaking from my mouth, and focused on Shinsou. His head was bleeding and his arm is sitting wonky. He had a bar in his leg. I grab Shinsou and home him close to my chest. I used my quirk to see where Mike and Aizawa were. After I spotted the eye, used the last of my strength and teleport to them. I collapsed, there was yelling. Someone was grabbing me and moving us around. I heard Aizawa and Mike. Slowly I let sleep take me, not knowing if I will wake up again. Degree. Beep, beep, beep. Slowly I opened my eyes. I tried to move my head but it felt like it was tired down, same with my arms and legs. Hello, my voice was raspy and everything was blurry. A black blob and a yellow blob came into view. Hey Dadzawa and Papang. I smile up at them, happy I could see them one last time before you go. Izuka, thank God you're okay. One of them said, I think it was Mike, I'm not sure. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, hey, I love you both. But I'm not going to be here much longer. I think a tear ran down my face but I'm not sure. What are you talking about? The doctor said you were fine, we can go home in a couple of days. Aizawa spoke up, voice wobbly. No, I'm dying, you see I can't move at all, and this was going to happen soon anyway. I don't have time to explain. Just look under my pillow. I think someone grabbed my hand. Beep, beep, beep. Izuka, don't say that, you're just really injured. Look at my eye, all the dots are gone, my time is up. I can't stop, a god, I'm sorry. My voice cracked and I was now crying. I love you guys, tell Shinsou and Eri I love them. My eyes felt heavy, she was pulling me, I know she is. We love you too, but you aren't dying, stop saying that. I could tell they were both crying even through my blurry vision. Beep, beep, beep. Thanks for making me feel loved again. I closed my eyes and let death take me. Beep, beep. Izuku. Degree. Thanks for giving me the time to save them. I smiled up at the deity. I'm happy I did, Izuku, you did a good job. Now it's time for you to go. I smiled at her and she smiled back. I fell back into my sleep, that's probable death. Degree. I opened my eyes to a bright light. So this is heaven, it smells weird. Wait, why am I crying? He's so cute. What? He has your eyes. I was finally able to see. I look up and see a lady with green hair and eyes. Wait, Inko? Let's call him Izuku. I couldn't see the man who said that I finally stopped crying. Sheet, I'm going to have to go through Pibui again. Wait, where is Aizawa, Mike, and Shinsou? Eri hasn't been born yet. Do they have quirks here? I have so many questions. A new life to the end.